Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mr. Billiard Open, coming to you from Master Cube Billiards in Markham, Ontario. We are here with 14 quality players. Joining me on this commentating is Patrick Gigi, President of Snooker Canada. Welcome, Patrick.
Thank you, Gord. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Been a hectic day. We're coming along nicely. We have two players up, Jason Williams and Sahil Nayar. Now, as I understand it, Sahil Nayar is one of the better players in the Scarborough area, and Jason Williams, of course, has competed at many levels. Patrick, where do you think snooker's at right now? What have you got planned?
Well, first of all, let me just comment on Sahil Nayar, who I just met a few minutes ago. Eddie Galati, former Canadian champion, mentioned his name a couple of months ago. As a matter of fact, I remember him saying, you know this guy Sahil? And I'm like, no, I don't. And he's like, well, you got to see him play. He can play. And so I have not seen him play, but I'm going to guess that this is going to be a very good match.
Well, if you have two good players, as we seem to have, then it should be very entertaining. Watching their strategy. What's coming up the rest of this fall?
Well, this is the first of our ranking events. And so we're going to be basically going across the country and doing our events. All the information's on the website, on the Snooker Canada website. Upcoming events. So looking forward to that. And of course, we're going to be doing a few educational courses along the way as well.
Your website is new, and it's certainly streamlined. And I would recommend visitors take a look at it at least every week, if not more frequently, because the changes will appear there. And there is a question section if they have any questions that they can ask, and they'll get an answer. Our one player, Jason, has taken a break for the moment. He will be returning shortly, and will continue play. They have broken. They are ready to go. I have seen Jason play. As you say, we haven't seen Sahil play. But as you say, if the pre-information from the tournament is correct, they will make an extremely good competition here.
Yes, and thanks for mentioning the new website. You know, we've been working on that for the better part of a year. It actually looks really simple, but there's a ton of work behind it. Seems these days websites are should be what they call responsive, mobile responsive, which means if you're seeing a website on a computer, you see it one way. If you see it on a tablet, it automatically adjusts to your device to see it that way better. And the same with the mobile phone. So a lot of work behind in the programming. Lots of interviews, lots of anecdotes, and yes, we will be updating that on a regular basis.
So we brought it basically into the current century with other websites, and it's interactive, so I like the fact that people can ask questions.
Yep.
And they will get responses.
Yep, absolutely.
Right.
You'll notice that the front cover, so to speak, of the website is a picture of Anthony Hebblethwaite that we brought in from England, and with a child.
Yes, he was in the Art of Snooker, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
He teaches youth in England and was giving us some pointers on how to bring the youth along here in Canada.
That's right. And,
in Ontario.
Well, you as you know, Gord, we've had countless conversations about this. The focus will heavily be on getting the next generation involved in our game. So.
Well, we've already taken one step. We have the Burlington Air Cadets, who have taken up snooker as one of their activities, and we had one of their leaders take a course in coaching, and we expect good things from them. If that happens, it should spread out to the other service industries, such as the Army Cadets,
Absolutely.
Navy Cadets, Boy Scouts, etc.
Yes.
Without the children coming into any sport, that sport suffers and it strangles. So we're putting a great deal of emphasis and man hours into that. Just so the viewers realize that all of us involved in Snooker Canada are volunteers. There are no paid staff. So we are making do the best we can to bring you the best show and raise snooker profile in Canada. Sahil has started with a nice shot to the corner. It's a shame that, well, I don't know which red he's going to go for. What do you think, Patrick?
Might be a plant in the middle he's looking at. Or maybe he's going to try and
This one in the end.
and go up for the blue. Looks like.
You called it right.
Yep, I can actually tell just by his stroke that this gentleman has played this game before.
Yes, as have you.
Yeah.
I understand that last year you broke 100.
I did. I made my first century break, and it was quite a bit like a dream. Felt good.
It's on the bucket list of a lot of snooker players to be able to achieve that. Not necessarily a perfect game, but to get over that century, yes,
Yep.
that's quite an accomplishment.
Thanks, Lloyd.
That's why I'm not playing you anymore.
I'm watching the body language when Sahil is walking around the table. It's I don't want to say aggressive. I'd rather maybe confident. There's something very confident about the way this gentleman plays.
He seems to respect the table and figure out the angles very quickly. He knows his way around.
Yep. I have a suspicion that Sahil might have played this game as a child. There's something very natural about the way he reads the table.
It's like any other sport. If you start young, you become very good at the right time.
Yep.
Although we have people who are any age who play very, very good games. And you can play it as long as your health will let you. We have disabled people playing it, wheelchair people playing it. It's a sport families are starting to.
Yep.
No, he tried to cut, but he didn't get it quite enough. Jason is lining up his shot very carefully. We've seen Jason over the years play in many of the major tournaments. In the Invitational Pro-Am tournament at Cambridge.
Yeah, Jason is a former junior champion. He's been around the game for a bit.
Yep.
I'm
Showing some respect by playing safe. I think until he gets an understanding of his player, he's not going to give away too much.
Yep.
He's never seen him play before, so that's always hard. Decided to play safe rather than take a chance.
Want to welcome all the viewers from the Q Sports Live world. As you know, Gord, we just affiliated and partnered ourselves with Q Sports Live.
Yes.
And they're working very, very hard these days, traveling all over North America, streaming tournaments.
Yeah. They will, of course, they are broadcasting the pool games. We're looking after the snooker games.
Right. If you look at their logo, you'll notice a red ball at the bottom.
Yes.
That red ball was not there not too long ago, so we're happy to see that snooker has been added to their logo.
Well, it's a big country, and there's room for this game, as far as streaming is concerned, to become quite a sport. Also quite an entertainment. As people will see during today's show, we will have interviews, we'll have various commentators, we'll play clips and ads that should be of interest to everybody. So it won't just be straight, dry snooker. We'll try and make it informative and entertaining for our audience.
Yep.
To that, we have thanks to Rob Decatur, who is our audiovisual photographer, who has set all this up and is our technical person. Without him, we'd be lost.
Always doing a fantastic job.
Yes.
Thank you, Rob.
It's amazing how much equipment has to be lugged around to these events.
Oh, yeah. And of course, Rob is consistently looking for ways to innovate and improve the stream.
Upgrading the equipment, seeing new ideas used by others, taking them on, so that you, the viewer, ends up with an entertaining show and informative that you'll learn a great deal.
Sahil didn't like that shot. There was a bit of a kick, heavy contact.
Yep. So he didn't get the movement of the white ball off at the rail is what he wanted.
He almost, if you look at his feathering, there's almost very similar to the way the top players in England feather that ball and stroke the ball.
His stroke is very confident and smooth. You can tell this player knows his shot when he approaches the table. He's not going to change his mind.
I guess he's got the pink there. That cue ball's not in the best place, I think.
It depends whether he tries to hold it.
Unless he's got a very slight angle, he could just stun it.
Which he's done.
Yep.
Good call.
Well, 40 points ahead, 43 remaining.
Yeah.
And it looks like just a red is required, and that should be frame 1 in the books.
Should mention these are 4 out of 7. Except for the black, he may have a run here.
And the game seems even easier once you've got the frame locked up.
Yes.
Look at that nudge. Give him the yellow. Looks like a dead straight shot.
You got a nice kick there to get the yellow.
Thanks for the comment, Waterford. Yes, this is in Markham, Ontario. Oh, Stephanie beat me to it. Thank you, Stephanie. Carter, the owner of the Master Q Club, brought in these 6 star tables a few months ago. Takes great pride in the conditions in his room.
And that is your first game. I think at this point we'll see Jason come on a little stronger. Now he's seen Sahil in action. Yes, these star tables are phenomenal. In fact, the 2 that you see in the picture right now are international competition tables that have been brought in. But the rest of the hall has star tables too.
Yes, they actually were tables that were at the Shanghai Masters tournament in China.
They play very well.
They do. If anybody listening has ever played on a star snooker table, if you're impressed with some of the top players in England, you'll be even more impressed. I played a frame on this table about a month ago, and I'll tell you that you cannot hit the ball too hard against the rail. It will not go in. Nice long pot by Jason there. See if Jason can capitalize on that.
Gives him a little more confidence to start the game.
Jason's been around the game for a while. He knows, once he's in, as they say, he knows his way around the table. That's what I mean by a start table pocket. This is what the pros play on.
Yeah.
That ball would have gone in on most tables in Canada.
Yes.
But
this table is very touchy. Those corners, if you just didn't brush them, it'll put your ball off track. Now we've changed our rakes over the time frame to we have this X rake now from the old style rakes. Do you hear or find that it's a better rake?
I only play with the X rake. I have not played with the other rake in years, so it must be. I mean, this is what they play overseas with.
We do take our cue, no pun intended, from England, and their equipment they develop a lot faster.
Gord's always ready for the puns.
Though we still have the players who seek out the old style rake, they can't adjust.
Yeah, absolutely. It's some people just stay used to.
Well, there's so many rakes now. Everything from the moosehead rake to the standard 3-slot rakes.
Now I wonder if he's going to actually try and go into the pack here, which he can elect to do.
He could, although he has 2 balls that he can pick off before he has to.
Looks like he'll be screwing back.
Yeah, he'll pick off these 2, I think, before he breaks that pack open. Break it open, 1 miss can cause you a lot of points.
Looking on the other table, I see that Nabil Azmat, who is playing against Indy Loti.
Right.
I met Nabil in Montreal a few years ago. He now lives in Mississauga.
Uh-huh.
And Indy, who loves this snooker, comes from Kingston, drives 3 hours to play in a one-day event. He's been doing this for a couple of years now. And just absolutely loves the game.
Well, he's certainly a die-hard player. To drive that distance, and it's a single knockout tournament, so he may only get 3 or 4 games.
Yep, that's why we like the 4 out of 7s.
Yes, it gives him more time at the table. Well, we have players from all over here. We have Fern Loyer down.
Yep, Fern came from Sudbury.
Yep. They came in yesterday to get acclimatized and settled. Oh, that was a hard shot with a miss. Although I think he had some doubts putting that white ball down table again. They will respect each other and try not to leave anything. You who are familiar with the game realize that it's what you leave that costs you so many points. And safeties and snookers are all part of the game. Never be afraid to take that position rather than risk missing a shot. the roll that he wanted, you'll have to cut that black. It's a fine cut. Well, looks as though he's opted to play it safe and go down table. More of a safety shot than an attempt. You'll notice not only do we have the scores along the bottom edge of the table, but we also have a scoreboard for the players and spectators up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. And a scorekeeper who keeps it up to date. Your red cones that you see on the floor are protecting the legs of the camera stands and scorecard stands so that hopefully nobody trips over them. Pool halls are not necessarily made for streaming. There's just very little room to put your cameras and equipment. Yeah.
I wonder if Jason is asking, geez, these start tables.
Well, it could be that. Plus, Jason always takes the summer off. I think this is his first tournament starting this fall. Again, respect for your opponent being shown by Sahil.
We just got a comment from David Burney in Vancouver. Have you heard that name before? David Burney. It sounds familiar.
I seem to recall meeting him a few times. Yes.
How are you, Dave? Welcome to the other coast. We wish you were here. Of course, we will see you here in the spring, but I know that David just ran the first event not too long ago in British Columbia.
Yes, I was reading that. Snooker Canada website does keep you informed, but you have to visit it. So as soon as tournaments and results are known, they're posted. So if you happen to be a call away from the stream, you can always pick up what happened. But there's no reason to leave the stream. Have lunch brought to you while you're watching.
Dave, not sure if you got that message the other day or yesterday, but your cue balls are on the way. I'm happy that you put to our attention that some of the cue balls in your events were not the best shape. So if anybody is tuning in and wants to get some new cue balls in the room that you play in, just let us know. We encourage, once the cue ball looks like it's been through a world war, we encourage you to change that ball, or maybe a little before.
Yeah, before the potholes develop too big and change the direction and speed of the cue ball.
David wrote that Kevin DeRue won the first event. Kevin DeRue is a world-class cue maker, actually. In British Columbia, he, as some of us know, he made the cue for Marco Fu. And makes cues for thousands and thousands of people, mostly in Asia. But if anybody wants a good solid cue, you might want to check out his website, kevinderue.com.
When you find a good cue maker, and there's some are in the world, but getting to know them, then you have to stick with them, because they get used to what you want in a cue.
Yeah, Kevin, I've talked to Kevin extensively about the art, and he takes it pretty seriously, knows his stuff, ages the wood, does his research on on the tips and all that good stuff.
Well, there's a great deal to key making that I don't think people realize. We should do a show on that one day.
Yep. Waterford's asking on the stream about venues in Vancouver with good quality tables. David, would you like to chime in? Of course, on the Snooker Canada website, you can see all the places to play, but there are a couple of venues. I'm pretty sure that there's a new room that opened with Star Tables out there in Richmond, British Columbia. And please correct me if I'm wrong, somebody out there, but Aiming Point Billiards in Richmond, I believe, has Star Tables as well.
What are the difference between star tables and joy tables? Joy being very, very big in the Far East.
Well, Joy doesn't make snooker tables, or maybe they do, but their big thing is the Chinese 8-ball.
Yes.
And David Burney is confirming. Aiming Point, top 147, some of the Annabitz clubs.
This is the advantage of Snooker Canada having representatives across Canada that can research this information for us and we can bring it to you. The network of people who provide us with information is growing, and we hope can continue to grow because we can't be everywhere, see everything, or hear everything. People have to tell us, and then we'll pass it on.
Well, I'm happy to see that Rod Arriagada from Winnipeg came in last night. He's here for the tournament. He's here to get trained.
So that he can run tournaments out in Winnipeg.
Run tournaments, do live stream.
Yep.
I've been in touch with Rod for a while now, and he seems to have the values that align with what Snooker Canada is trying to do. Loves the game.
Hopefully I'll be able to interview him a little later, but since he's still winning, he's still playing.
Does things for the right reasons.
Yes. Patrick, I understand there's some new activity in Montreal that you've been involved in as far as the pool hall is concerned. How's it coming along?
It's coming along very nicely, actually. We're going to be opening an academy actually in Montreal.
Yes.
In a couple of weeks, and it's more of a recreation, family recreation place. It'll have other things such as ping pong and darts and other things, but there will, as you know, there'll definitely be a private snooker room in there. Nice quiet room.
That will appeal to the serious snooker player.
Well, all snooker players. We decided not to get a liquor license for now. We want the kids to come in. We want the schools to come in.
I think that's a big plus for the future of the game and the right decision.
We're excited about it. And once we get that settled, we'll be looking out here in the GTA to do something similar.
Ultimately, we will have a chain of them across Canada. And they'll be standardized like anything else that you can walk into any Snooker Canada operation. It's the same. That was an expensive shot.
Yeah, that ball was flying all over the place.
Yeah.
I think Jason will know that the importance of this frame. You know, you don't want to be 2-0 down to somebody of Sahil's caliber. That's a good shot. Well,
Yeah.
Not the table, right?
look at this.
Actually, I'll be here for the table.
So we want to stop the table right now?
No, we're gonna keep going.
I
Keep
wonder
going.
if
Okay, so just only food and the drink.
We have some background noise here because we are out in the open. There's no private room to be in. suppress the noise or the ambience of the hall. So bear with us, please.
Nice little swerve by Mr. Sahil.
It's interesting we keep referring to the youth. The one squadron of air cadets in Burlington, I happened to be there doing some shooting with Rob, and the parents were there watching. And some of the kids, the parents had never seen that side of the child. In one case, the child simply said, "I fouled." No one had seen it. He didn't have to report it. But that is the etiquette of snooker. And for the children to pick it up, the parent spoke to me afterwards and he said, "This is teaching them all sorts of skills that are useful in life." That's quite true. They were very proud of their son.
Yes, that's one of the things we'll be focusing on in our new academy in Montreal. Is not just the game, but the values that go along with that game. We want to teach the next generation the importance of things like integrity and respect and all the other good things that come along with our beautiful game.
These two players are playing cat and mouse back and forth, waiting for someone to make a mistake, I think.
I think it's got a nice little roll, this table as well. I wonder if there are heaters underneath. It just it glides
I don't know.
nicely.
Well, you bring up a subject that I don't think a great many people know, that the more constant you can keep the temperature of the table, the better the cloth is and the better the game and roll is.
Yep.
Too much moisture, too much dryness, either one will affect things. Coming back to kids, and I don't think people realize that in England and in China, the kids take it in school. That's part of their course, is snooker. So they have to pass that to pass their grade. And the reason for that is, if you think about the game, it is hand-eye coordination. It certainly is mathematics, geometry from the angles, and physics of what happens when two round objects collide. So their work in classroom picks up. They get better marks because they've actually seen it in action. So very successful programs in those countries, and we hope to start it in Ontario next fall. The government is looking at it, and so far they're impressed. It's a matter of what subject gets dropped or how they incorporate it into the phys ed program.
Yep.
And there are special tables.
This is Jason's opportunity to
Yes, to pull ahead.
close this frame out. Really, it's just a question of the balls are a little set up as if you were practicing. You just got to put one foot in front of the other and
Very smooth stroke.
table over. David Putty is playing John Brooks. That
Yes.
could be a good match.
Yes. A lot of the matches are evenly balanced.
No score in that match just yet.
And here we have a tie game at this point.
Sorry, Dave. I did not see that Pat McCarthy and Danielle Lanois has showed up yet, but that would be great. Danielle Lanois, the famous music producer, came to see us in Burlington at the Richler Cup last year. That was quite the treat. Canadian music producer who's worked with the likes of U2 and Neil Young and a few other big names.
someone we'd like to work with us in developing a theme song and music for Snooker Canada.
Who knows? Never know.
Just contacts that we make, people come forward, offer services. It keeps it growing.
I'm trying to see if that red above the other red will pot without having to disturb. And
Whether it will go.
I think it will.
I think it will, depending on where that white is. He
I
tried to
guess
break
it
it.
wouldn't have. Look at that. That's a great shot. That's a very good shot. I think Sahil will now have a little more respect for the rest of the match. I
Play a
don't
little
know
more
if these
cautiously.
don't know if these two know each other, but he'll know now that Jason can punish. He's going to have to be careful here, Jason. If that white ball hits the other red, it might actually go in the pocket.
Yes.
So he's probably going to have to screw it. Oh, did fine there.
Nicely done.
Did fine there.
That's unfortunate.
That's not the best result. 16 points ahead. 35 remaining.
Certainly not what the outcome he wanted.
Very, very unlucky.
He's going to have to go down table. But with that red where it is, it's an easy hook.
Should be pretty easy to hit, but always want to stay safe. That's the most important thing. And he's left a medium shot, as I call it.
Very hard to predict where your white ball is going to go when those two balls are that close together. You notice Jason backs away from his shot. If he doesn't feel comfortable, that's what to do, back away. No,
He did not hit that ball very confidently.
no. Very tentative shot.
It did not go through the cue ball. Now, these are tough. Do you cut to the left corner? Do you try to put it in the side?
And he's looking for that pink. He
I
brings
guess-
his white ball down table.
They just make it look so easy in England, don't they?
Oh,
You
yes.
just take for granted the
Look at
ball's
the
gonna
roll of
go
this
in.
ball that he got. It's all part of the game.
No apologies from Sahil there. No,
I don't think so.
he's probably still thinking, how did I miss that shot though?
Oh, yes. That looks as though Jason can see a piece of it. It's quite an attempt if he's going to try and cut it in the side. I can play it up in the end. Oh, he did. That was a risk. Looking for a snooker here behind the pink. I think he's succeeded. Getting a little knock on wood out of respect from Jason. This is where the gentleman's game and respect for your opponent comes in. It makes it much nicer. A little masse, and he did tick the ball. Well, we have someone new joining us in the commentator's booth.
Hello.
Welcome, Rod from Winnipeg.
Hi, Gord. Hi, everyone.
Have you been following this game a little bit?
This one, I just walked in, so I haven't quite been following it yet. I'm just about to start watching it right now.
Yep. You're still in the tournament and have a game this afternoon, right?
Yeah, you got lucky, got my first win. Now we're gonna see what happens in the second round.
So it's always the luck of the draw as to who your first opponent is.
Where are these guys from, Gord, Jason, and Sahil?
Sahil is from Scarborough. Jason is from Burlington.
Nice. So most of the players here are from the Ontario area?
Yes, there's from as far away as Sudbury to Kingston to Burlington. Snooker players who are competitive will travel.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
The experience, like you've come from Winnipeg, which is the furthest, I think.
Yeah.
But you're here for twofold, not only to compete, but also to learn a little bit about how we run the tournaments.
Yeah, of course.
So I understand that you can put on more in Winnipeg.
Yeah, we're trying to work with things here in Winnipeg, or there in Winnipeg. We're trying to, I guess, get snooker going again, and mainly just getting players interested in the game by creating new events and getting some more excitement into the snooker field out there. So coming out here was part of that. I just wanted to come out here and kind of see how things are done and kind of have an idea so we can start doing things over there too with Snooker Canada and help the game grow a bit more.
Well, it takes people like yourself who are dedicated to try and expand the game. It's not going to happen on its own.
Yeah, I agree. And there's always got to be somebody that's got to put the work in.
There's a nice shot, Jason.
Very beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Came around nice too for that yellow.
Oh, he's coming
Well, I
around
guess he's
from
going for the black, yeah.
He's rolled all the way up.
Looks like a standard shot, maybe a little bit of topspin, come back down and get a nice shape for that yellow. Considering the rails are pretty fast here, it should be able to happen easily.
He doesn't want to come too far.
Well, the thing about this shot is that it's taken away from your shape, right? If you're committing to this shot, you're taking away from the shape, and if you're taking away the shape, then you're taking away from the shot. So it's hard for a player to make decisions here. More than likely, he's just going to try to pot this ball and try to get some decent shape that he can work with.
So he came around and looked at it from this end of the table to see where his white has to go, and he's certainly not comfortable with the shot.
No, yeah, it's because of that yellow. He's thinking hard on that yellow.
Yeah. He goes too far, he can snooker himself.
Yeah, just like that. See, topspin, come back down. He's got it.
Yeah.
He's got to get right angle here
Good
though
weight.
for that yellow.
Good weight.
Yeah, so he's going to have a little bit of a challenge here now too. He's going to have to play some topspin and follow that through.
Yeah, he may follow it through and pull the white off the bank to come down for the green on the bottom rail.
I guess he could always go around too with a draw shot, but that's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, he's stayed cautious on that side of the table.
Yeah, there's lots of room there for a snooker though. Probably gonna just stun this a little bit over and shift it behind pink and blue. Yeah, just like that.
Called it exactly.
Oh, he's got a nice line. That's a beauty.
Yep.
Bring out the marker for this one, boys. Oh, what a beautiful hit.
Beautiful hit. People watching may not realize that there's a 3-miss rule, so the white ball can be put back at the discretion of your opponent if you miss your shot. So he has to try again from the original position the ball was in.
And you know, that's probably one of the toughest rules in snooker that players have to face a lot. Professional players and players that travel and play in events. The foul and a miss rule is just can be cruel to you.
Yes.
But on the same note, you can take advantage of it if you know your snookers.
Nice weight, Jason. I don't know whether he can masse around that pink or not. Looks like he can see quite a bit of the ball.
Might even try to cut it. It's a tough cut though. But
Yes.
yeah, no, it looks like a pretty doable cut.
Well,
There you go.
that also is part of the game. Luck does play a part. Mr. Billiard Open Master Cue with Snooker Canada.
I really got to compliment the room here. It's a really beautiful place. I love the quality of the tables, the atmosphere. It's very good. It's my first time coming out here, and I'm actually enjoying myself.
Yeah. We saw a good instant replay, which is something new we've added to our repertoire for live streaming. I think he wanted that brown a little further.
Yeah.
Overcut it. Will it come behind the black or not?
He was trying to go for that snooker, but he missed it.
Yeah. Two-way shot.
Oh, he hit that beautifully. Oh, no, maybe not. It looked like he almost hit
certainly
it
tried a
perfect.
nice offensive shot. Even if he's ahead, a snooker can certainly help you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, at this point, I guess Jason is mainly just trying to control the scoreboard and get a few balls in to capitalize on the frame. Oh, here's another
Oh,
one.
he had a nice stuff on that white ball.
Oh, he didn't get the
Didn't
rub.
quite get it, but it was a good attempt.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he does need a snooker here. 22 on the table, and he's down 23. So he has to get a snooker here somewhere.
It's almost a little bit better if you can find a way to pot that brown and then get around for that blue and then maybe play a snooker there.
Yeah.
Since it's so close to that pink, it's easier to manipulate.
Well, he tried the long bank, came away from the pocket a bit. And Sahil goes again for the snooker attempt.
Oh, he might get it. Looks like he might
I
have
don't
enough.
think so.
No.
No. You know, commentating on a game is a lot different than when you're playing it. You see it differently completely.
Yeah, and we never missed the shots either.
Not from here.
No.
Jason's trying for the shots, not rolling it up to the pocket.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to secure that extra point so he doesn't have to be too worried about it. He can control the game a little bit easier with 4 more points.
Yes. Sahil keeps this up. He's going to get one of them one time.
Took a chance.
Yeah, Jason looks like he was disappointed in that shot.
I guess that's sort of the strategy, though. If you're ahead, you kind of want to be a little bit more aggressive and try to make that extra pot so you can get ahead and stay ahead.
Yes, and you don't want to make a mistake and foul.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, right?
Yeah, what do you think? Can you see a piece of that?
That's pretty tough. You might be looking at a kick shot, maybe a mass
He's not
save.
going to take a chance.
He's taking a kick. Nice,
Good hit.
beautiful hit. Well, he didn't quite sell it. Still some opportunity there. So now on this shot, I'm thinking you probably want to draw around a couple rails, come back around, and keep the white ball close to where that brown is, further towards that pocket. I guess he wanted to play safety. Huh?
Yeah, he's trying another snooker.
I guess, yeah, you're saying that he needs a snooker, right?
Yes, if you look at the score,
Oh, yeah.
it's 23 spread, and there's 22 on the table.
I still think that somebody's got to pot this brown, and then you can get the snooker. Those two balls at the bottom are where you can get off with it.
Oh, yes, it's ideal setup to try for a snooker. As long as Jason doesn't leave the balls pointed that way. Yeah, very hard to get behind that black. He's making a good attempt at it.
Yeah, so here he might even try to play a little snooker here off two rails. Try to bring the ball down between that pink and the blue.
Or try and put the white behind the black again.
Yeah, rail to rail, long length.
No, went your way.
You went for it.
Not quite hard enough.
No. Might have gotten a little bit better reward if you just went the two rails naturally, top spin came across. But you never know on this table. It is a lot faster.
Oh, yes. So he'll just found that out. If that weight was going to try and put it behind the black ball, he put a little bit too much on it.
I know that when I played my match, it was quite a bit of an adjustment. Cloth is fast, rails are good, and pockets are tight, so the conditions there are survival. Just try to make your shots and navigate through the troubles, I guess.
Well, if a hall owner puts in good quality tables and maintains them, he attracts a better player, a more serious player.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But some owners decide to shave the pockets so they're bigger, people make more points.
Yeah, and they tend to do that too because they kind of, not everybody's a snooker player. Some people just like to play snooker, right?
Yeah.
So they got to find a happy medium between the professional at heart and the person that just loves the game.
Well, I think you qualify coming in all the way from Winnipeg for a one-day event.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to partake in this event and compete against these players. There's a lot of knowledge at hand, and just paying attention to the way they play, you can learn a lot from them. Oh, that's coming back up. Oh, it hit the two horns.
Yeah. Now I think he's going to give up on that.
He just forfeited.
So that makes them even.
And we got a race. Sometimes it's okay to do that, if you just feel like you're not going to be able to get away with this frame, then, just move on, go on to the next one,
You
restart.
can waste a lot of your energy and nerves.
Yeah. And then there's the disappointment too if you try hard to win that frame and you just end up losing it anyway. So sometimes it's better just to give up with the frustrations and move on.
A fresh start.
I almost did that on my first match too, and then I got a couple of fortunate bounces that got me back in the game. But
Looks like you're going to take a bit of a break here between games. Washroom break. Over to you, Rob. Break. You want us to still continue on? My producer just informed us that we're going to take a commercial break. And then we'll be right back with a continuation of this match. That's 4 out of 7, and they're now even.
don't go too far, you're going to miss the action. We'll be back in a few minutes.
But watch what happens now.
The landscape of snooker in Canada is about to shift to a higher level. We have just one question. Are you ready? The Canadian Snooker Tour has seen a lot of changes in the last 7 years. An increase in player participation, tournaments, and yes, more prize money. 3 words: not satisfied yet. Stay tuned for major announcements to come on the Snooker Canada website.
At Monte Carlo Inns, we're the first to admit there's no place like home. So let us welcome you to the next best place, where guests feel like regulars, even on their first day. Monte Carlo Inns is your home away from home.
Master Q Snooker Billiards and Lounge is a newly renovated entertainment complex located in Markham, Ontario. Master Q is a fully licensed establishment with an incredible selection of beverages, a fabulous kitchen menu, and great food to satisfy your appetite. If you enjoy snooker, 8-ball, or even a friendly game of darts, this is your place to be. And with their comfortable lounge area complete with a large screen projection system, Master Q is a great place to meet with friends to watch the big game. Master Q Snooker Billiards and Lounge, 20 Apple Creek Boulevard, Markham, Ontario.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. The break was shorter than we anticipated, which is good for us, the viewer. And now they're tied equally. This next game is critical.
Yeah, they say in a race to 4, Game 2 and Game 4 are the most crucial ones to win. Just getting that 2-1 advantage puts the pressure on your opponent.
Oh, big time. Oh, we just had a question from the West Coast. This is a one-day tournament. It's Thanksgiving weekend. We didn't want to break into family time too much. Something everyone may watch for is Snooker Canada has a newsletter that's now out. A very nice glossy color brochure that will tell you everything that's happening. It should be available on your pool hall not too shortly from now, or your league will have them to give out copies to every member. When you see the newsletter, you'll see a picture of a young lady who most snooker fans will recognize. A very, very internationally renowned referee. Next March, we'll be Snooker Canada. We're running a course for those who want to become referees, and she will be part of it, so you'll learn from the best. That'll be next March 16th and 17th. Stay tuned to Snooker Canada's website for the cost and the times and the location. It will be in Toronto.
I have to commend you guys on all your efforts out here. I really like the snooker scene out here in Toronto. It's definitely strong. Lots of players participating, and everybody just really seems to have a lot of passion for the game out here. It's kind of
part of that is numbers. I mean, we obviously have more population to draw from than Winnipeg or elsewhere in Canada.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're trying to do kind of the same thing out in Winnipeg, and I mean, it's not like snooker's dead out there. There's people playing snooker. It's just that we have a lack of events and competition, really. So it's time for things to change out there and start creating more events so players can start fine-tuning their game and becoming more competitive.
Well, now you've been here and seen some of the behind the scenes. You go back. We'll give you a week or two to shape things up. Actually, it'll take a couple of months. I know you're going to put a lot of hours into it.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of hours into it. Sometimes I feel like it's a job.
It does become a job, but a labor of love.
Oh yeah, for sure. Driven by passion. It's always for fun.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like work.
No, never.
I've been involved now for probably 5 years, and I thought I was retired, but I'm putting in as many hours in Snooker Canada as I did when I worked, which is enjoyable.
Yeah, and that's what the thing about, doing things that you love. If you do things that you love, it's just comes natural to you, and no
Never-
matter what, you can't be stressed out because it's what you're doing, it's what you
Never
love.
enough time.
Yeah. And there's never enough time for sure.
Today, to start streaming for this, we had to drive about an hour and a half from outside of the Markham area and be here at 8 o'clock to get set up with all of the equipment and cameras so that we can start streaming.
And it's a beautiful quality stream.
Rob has got a good camera, and he's a very, very demanding person. He demands the best in his pictures and quality, and I like that. It's
Oh,
not
for sure.
it's just not putting up a camera and streaming. It's wanting the quality that perhaps others don't take the time to do.
Yep, that's true. And that once again comes with the idea of passion. If you have passion for the game and
Yes.
passion for what you do, you're gonna do your best.
Yep. Now, Rob and I have offices in our basement, and we spend more time there than we realize. But all that research and investment in time pays off
Sure does.
for you, the viewer, and for us as an organization.
What I really like about the streaming fact is that it gets to show off some of the players and their skills, and it also gives an opportunity to go back and watch their matches after and see how they might have made a mistake or how they triumphed against somebody. But it's a great tool for sure.
Oh yes, oh yes. It's a good teaching tool.
I remember years ago, there was never any streams like that, and most of the stuff that you heard was just hearsay, right? I went
Yes.
out there and I won this tournament. Yeah, sure, whatever, man. But now you can see it.
Yes. Well, Canada is such a big country that streaming is the only way to reach a large number of snooker players so that they can learn and enjoy the game.
Oh, for sure. It's very educational.
And it's difficult. We're in Snooker Canada are trying to set it up so that we can have our tournaments not in a snooker hall, but an arena where we can have spectators and control the atmosphere and the ambiance and not be crowded. Because the halls just weren't built for this.
Oh, for sure. Yep. I can see that being a good thing. It works for everybody out in Britain, the way they play their
Oh, yes.
snooker out there, and it's high class. I really enjoy that. Having the crowd around in the bleachers and everybody partakes. It's like a football game for them. I mean, they're just as passionate about their football as they are about their snooker.
Well, they certainly are players who respect the game
Yeah.
and an audience that respects the players by keeping quiet, just like golf crowds when shooting is happening.
Yeah, it's I've seen a couple of times where they've ejected people from those events just because they're just being too loud or whatever, they're distracting the players, and that goes to show you that there's a lot of respect and etiquette in this game.
Overcut that. That was hard to do. Jason's rolling his head thinking, how did I do that?
He's got an opportunity here. Maybe they can put some points together here.
Rod, how did you get into snooker? What attracted you to the game?
Well, it kind of started for me, I guess, last year. I decided to become a better player, and so part of my becoming a better player was to put in a lot of time on the tables. And amongst all the tables that I played on, I play at Bourbon, so they have 9-footers and 3.5x7s, and then they have the 12x6 snooker tables. So I played most of the time at the beginning on the 9-footers, and then eventually I had a frustrating day, and I just couldn't make anything on the table. And I said, you know what, I'm going to switch over. I'm going to go onto a snooker table and try out these little balls and see if it's a little bit easier. And the first shot that I made, it went right in. I was like, oh my God, this is easy. I don't even know why I'm playing with these bigger balls. So I switched over thinking it was going to be a lot easier, and I was wrong. Turned out to be a lot more difficult than I thought, but it was a difficulty and the challenge that the game presents to me as a player that drew me more to it. And so I dedicated myself to playing it, and now I'm trying to partake and trying to create more things for snooker because I truly love the game.
It is a game that you love, whether or not it's the sound of the balls that attract you, the colors of the balls, how they roll, how the variations, there's so many variations,
Yeah.
that it's mesmerizing at times. It's like a mental chess game too.
Some people like to say that snooker is probably the most challenging game out there, and so a lot of people kind of stay away from it, but what they don't understand is that it's the challenge itself that makes you a better player. And if you can master a snooker table, even if you can just make 25 to 40% of your shots on a snooker table, that translates to 100% on the smaller tables.
Well, it's interesting. We see now families taking up the sport, playing with their children, which spends quality time as a family.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter your level of skill. You can approach the game as a social activity,
Yep.
fun, and then as you develop, you can decide whether or not you want to go into competition. But you'll never lose the enjoyment of the game.
No, that's for sure. Once you get that, once you develop that love for the game, it just stays around forever.
Yeah. And you don't necessarily make your shots all the time, but it's just fun to be there.
How's it going, Michael Peters? Nice to see you joining us. All the way from Swift Current, Saskatchewan.
Does he have any snow out there?
You have any snow out there, Michael? Well, I'll tell you what, it was pretty cold in Winnipeg when I left yesterday, and I came out here thinking, man, I'm going to be colder than hell, and it's actually pretty nice out here. It's not bad at all. I'm not even wearing my jacket out there.
Balmy southern Ontario.
Yeah.
Well, Calgary's certainly had its share this early in the year.
Yeah, they always seem to get hit first for some reason.
I wonder if it's something they did.
Yeah, they must have done something wrong in their day.
Yeah.
How's it going, Billy Ricker? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for tuning in, man.
Thank you for letting us know that you're watching too. It helps encourage us to try and give you a better product and performance. There are two organizations that are streaming Q Sports in Canada, Q Sports Live and Snooker Canada. Q Sports Live and Snooker Canada make an agreement that they stream the pool games, we stream the snooker games. But they also allow us to stream on their platform, and we sincerely thank them to be able to reach the pool players and show them snooker. So thank you very, very much, Q Sports Live. We look forward to a long and good relationship where we can reach more Q Sport players.
Hi, Douglas from Estevan, Saskatchewan. How you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the game. How's it going, Arslan? Long time no see, buddy. You should be out here with me playing. Maybe you can make a reappearance and come out and play in the Central Canadian this year in Winnipeg.
And we do try and move the tournaments around the country so everybody has an opportunity to enter.
Funny guy, Billy. Funny guy. I miss you, bro.
These are listener and viewers who are communicating with us, letting us know that they're watching, keeping us informed. And it's always good to know what their thinking is, and any questions or suggestions that you have. Don't hesitate. We may not have the answer, but we know where to find it.
Well, it looks like Sahil got himself in some really nice territory here.
You could do quite a bit here.
It's a nice little spread. How you doing, Todd? All the way from Palm Springs. Thanks for tuning in, man. Are you a player yourself, Todd? Or just a fan?
I also want to thank Mr. Billiards for sponsoring this tournament. You can visit him in Richmond Hill. Win of the Central Canadians from Dave Burney. I'm not entirely sure that that's been set yet, Dave, but we will announce it on the Snooker Canada website as soon as it's been agreed to. We have to negotiate with hall owners for dates, and we want to make sure that we move it around the country.
We did end up having it last year in March, and I'm not sure exactly where we're going with it this year, but I think we're going to do it in March again. We're just trying to figure out the dates and work everything out, the last details of it. And we'll make a formal announcement, of course, for everybody that wants to come out to Winnipeg and play in the event.
As you know, David, this is a labor that takes quite a few details and planning. To try and announce a complete calendar year ahead of time is difficult because things change. Hall owners say, yes, now I have a date available for you, or no, the date I gave you, I have to change. They are in business to make money, and they do want to accommodate us, but we have to take the time to negotiate with them before we can definitely announce a program. Patrick Gige, our president, travels extensively and usually is negotiator for the use of the hall. But no matter when it is or where, it will be streamed live for all of Canadians to watch it. And those overseas, those in America, we have quite a viewership.
This is the thing about snooker, is that as a player, when you get up to these balls, like right now, Jason's looking at both of these reds and he's just trying to figure out, okay, I can make this shot, but what do I want to do next? That's the hardest part of this game, is trying to, execute what you're thinking, plus getting the shape.
And then when you've thought ahead, it's called making the shot first.
Yep.
All the plans laid depend on that first shot. A lot of the players in England on the international tours, they're looking at 3-4 shots ahead of time, planning out where they want to put that white ball. It's all about white ball control.
Well, it looks like Sahil is getting a little bit more comfortable on the table. His stroke's coming out a little bit more.
Yes. Well, the score certainly reflects that. Yes, I'm hoping that Mr. Billiards, John Haddock, drops by today. Turn me on.
Yep. Yep.
Gordon winning back. I took a little break there for a moment to help with the ruling. You wear many hats when we're involved in this game. Well, Jason drops a game here, which now makes it 2-1. And if he wins the third one, that pretty well locks it up. Very hard to come back.
But not impossible.
No, I've seen strange comebacks, including Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yeah, and if you watch these pro players, they tend to do that a lot.
Yeah, you don't underestimate and you don't fold your tent in your game and walk away unless you're really, really sure that you're not going to be able to focus enough to bring it back.
I wish I could remember the player, but I remember watching a match not too long ago, and it was a snooker pro or a pro tournament, and the one guy had to come back with he needed 4 snookers to come back, and nobody thought he had a chance in hell to come back and win that game, but he ended up pulling off the 4 snookers and came back and won the match.
Stranger things have happened. That's what's so unusual about this game. It's unpredictable. The ball can roll just enough that all of a sudden you're changed. I hope everybody out there is planning a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner, either tomorrow or Monday. That didn't turn out as well as you hoped.
Nope. I guess it all comes down to whether he's a lefty or a righty. Oh, he's a righty.
I play left-handed, and sometimes my opponents underestimate and leave me shots.
Hi, Ronnie. It's Rod, yeah. And the other person is Gord McEwen.
Yeah, Gord Mooney. I'm usually doing the marketing and advertising and research organization. But in days like today, I gladly sit in and try and bring you some color action about the game and other activities that are going on.
See, so now he's going to want to kind of give himself a little bit of an angle here so he can try to work with that black. Oh,
Yeah.
He didn't get it. We would have wanted a little bit more angle so he can come down and get shape on that red that's sitting loose on the side of the rack.
A lot of the players, you'll see their frustration taken out in their body language. They don't exactly end up where they wanted to be.
Oh yeah, he still worked out. He still got over there.
Well, again, it's control. No matter what shot you miss, you cannot lose focus or control. You have to move on to your next shot and not even just put it out of your mind.
The key here is for Jason just to continue to just work this pile slowly. Eventually he's going to get his break on that black or in a red. He's going to be able to open up that pile of reds and then start taking away some points.
Yes, you're correct. Critical shot.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a little too soon for that one, but
Yeah,
nevertheless, it's
break
a
out
good
the
effort.
pack is dangerous. But knowing Jason, he'll just shake it off and come back aggressively again.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about snooker is if you're not playing Ronnie O'Sullivan, you still have a chance.
Well, if I was playing Ronnie O'Sullivan, I would only be sitting most of the game.
Yeah, you and everybody else, even the pros.
Yep. Don't get me wrong, it would certainly be a thrill and an honor to be at the same table with him, but I have to be realistic.
Oh, nice pot.
Nice shot.
Decent shape here.
Black's down where he can get at it. And shape.
Looks like he's gonna try to power stroke this. Yeah, I gave it a little jab.
Yeah.
He's not bad. Can make that red to the side, come around a couple rails, and end up for either the pink or the blue. Or he can go soft and come around and just get the brown or yellow or green. Just even playing this naturally with a little bit of a stun shot will get you past that second red. Just like that, yeah. Beautiful. Oh, you weren't supposed to hit that
color.
though. If you didn't hit that, he was gold. Still not bad.
And he'll take the yellow to keep his run going.
Kind of wants to just play this one with topspin, come right back up.
Yeah.
If he can get close to that pink, he's set for that red. Nice and easy. Keep that stroke under control.
Coming up.
Maybe a little bit too far.
Yes, as his head goes down, realizing I think I hit it a little too hard. So he may have possibilities in the side.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna take another shot at cracking the pack. Yeah, it's a pretty big shot. Once you open up that table, man, it's a free for all.
You can't afford to miss.
It's tough to make these decisions when you're facing situations like this. I suppose a more aggressive player would probably go for the breakout and just continue the run, but most people would probably try to find a way to play a snooker here and get back at the table again with a better opportunity.
It's a new kick.
Nope.
It looks like he's okay. There's still a lot of stretch there. He'll have to, Sahil will have to come up with a nice shot here to get himself going. Some people always think that because you open up the reds that it makes the game a lot easier, but in fact it actually makes it a little bit more difficult depending on the position. In this case, he's against the rail at the bottom by the black, so now all those reds are open, but it makes it harder for you to make a decision on what you're going to play for a snooker because you're going to leave an opportunity somehow, somewhere. I see situations like this where also people will bank out the black and bring the black down to the D,
Yep.
and that makes it difficult for people to try to do red, black, or red colors.
Well, I think he just limited Sahil's shots to the one on the rail.
Quite an interesting layout here.
If somebody can get the white ball in the right position, they can run.
Yeah, this table is very workable, but it's finding that shot first.
Yes.
There's a smart play right to that black, hopefully.
Bring the white back.
He left the shot still. But still, nothing taken for granted here.
I don't think it's bankable on the side. I think there's a red in the way.
No, I think he might try to bank that ball on the side and try to put that white right where the black is again.
Yeah, there he comes back.
Just
trying
like
for
that.
the snooker.
And I think Jason was expecting that.
Oh, yes.
A lot of times these players know, like when you leave something, you're kind of expecting your opponent to give you what you thought he was going to give you back.
Well, you do the same thing to them in that position.
Yeah. Except for I leave the table wide open for them.
And it is part of the game. That's what a lot of players resent being snookered or resent.
Yeah.
It is part of the game, and it's
Oh, for
part
sure.
that you have to learn.
Yeah. That's why a lot of people don't understand that the work that Ronnie O'Sullivan does is really truly beautiful, because that's a lot of skill. It's a lot of time and dedication on that table for him to be that good.
Like any other sport, the more hours you put in playing it, the better you get.
Yep.
Or some players there's no hope for. I know I'm not going to become any better a player. I just enjoy the game immensely. The atmosphere, the challenges.
Yeah, and even if like for myself, I'm a new player to the game, so I get really excited when I go on little point runs. 24 points, 16 points. Hell, even when I make 8 points, I'm happy. So it's that's kind of part of what the game is really about. It's not so much that everybody has to come up here and do a maximum break and do a 147. It's just having fun with the game and learning, and then take off from there.
And learning from mistakes. You'll notice there's a table not being used. That is closed down so that the players don't interfere with each other. And it gives those on the table as being screen free reign to move around without worrying about another player behind them. Ooh, that was a hard one. Look what he's left. That's the chance you take. Jason looking over the positioning of the other reds to see where he can put his white ball to the best advantage. Don't know that he counted on that bump on the red. He still has decent shots in the end. Good position on that black. Later today, when we get down to the semifinals and the finals will have a referee. And we can use more referees in the country. That's why we're running the programs on how to become a referee, so that we can provide more referees in the tournaments. Takes the pressure off the players, takes the decisions away from them. They can just concentrate on the game. Strange, you look at a shot and then you go down on the table and look down your cue and the shot doesn't look the same, so you back away.
Yeah, that happens a lot. That was a good shot. Oh, it just died off that rail on him.
Yeah, he was still playing it safe in case he missed that side shot. And now is he going to try a shot or a snooker?
I think he's going to try a snooker. Try to hit that brown.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, that's one of the hardest shots to hold back
Yeah.
and not push that cue too far.
It is probably the most difficult shot to execute when you're, depending on how close you are, how far you are, and it's something that I see a lot of players try to use.
Because you're used to stroking all the way through, and here you've got to be able to stop your shot just after an inch or so. Now this is critical for Sahil. He has to make a red, has to touch a red.
Yeah, if he doesn't, he's going to be in trouble for this frame.
Yeah. Because a putback from that position could cost him 3 fouls.
And the way he's going right now, he might be hitting that pink. Oh, just missed it.
And he
Missed them
has
both.
a foul. Now it's up to Jason what he wants him to do. He can take a shot or he can have it put back. It looks like he's going to take that red because it's a fairly easy shot for him.
Yeah, plus he's up pretty comfortable right now, so taking this shot and just getting more points onto his score helps a lot.
Yes.
And there's no guarantee that he's going to get the same kind of position if he goes and puts the ball back for a respot.
No. Oh, there was the risk. Hitting it hard enough to get position with the white. These pockets on this table are very unforgiving.
Yep.
They're competition quality, size, and you cannot play games with it. Nice shot, Sahil. Gives him his pink. Another red.
Yeah, I'd probably take that pink, maybe draw it with some bottom rights, coming between that brown and the green, back around for the reds. Oh, he hit the brown though.
Yep.
He had the right idea.
That's what he wanted. And now he's got himself in a situation that he doesn't like it a bit. With the positioning to try and get out safe and get the white ball back down at the end is not going to be easy. Oh, that was a great attempt in bringing that white ball back too. Lay it right on the rail.
Yeah, here's a difficult shot against the rail. You're looking at 8 feet.
And you notice the joking between them. It's a game where you can have some levity in it as well.
So what do you think he's going to do here, Gord? What would you do in his position?
Well, I think he's going to put the red up in the end and try and follow the white through on it. So he'll be in black position.
Yeah, just leave the white on the top rail.
Yeah. Everything else is pretty well on angle, and coming off a rail is hard to get any juice on the
I kind of
white
like
ball.
that red that's closer to the brown on the top rail. You see that?
No,
There's that pink, the red, and the red next to it.
Looks like
That's the one that I would hit.
I think he's coming to the one
I thought
near
about
the pink.
I thought about this one, but this one looks dangerous to play with. There's a chance that he can leave the table.
Yeah.
Oh, he went down. Okay. Yeah, he played it totally different. I would have just played it up to the top rail, but that worked out.
He tried to get his white back down to the bottom rail. Now again, Sahil has the same sort of choice. He'll take the red closest to the black, so his white will go back down table. Ooh. It's fortunate that rub off the black didn't slow the white down too much.
Yeah. Now this is a potable ball because basically he just has to focus on making it and he'll get the shape on the black. But it's a difficult shot nonetheless.
Oh, yes.
Beauty.
Again, strategy, opting for the snooker.
Yeah, and this is a good one because now he's got some balls blocking that brown, so looks like he's gonna have to, Sahil's gonna have to do 2 reels to even 3 reels to try to kick this ball.
Foul.
So that's the first one.
Now what's Jason going to do with it?
He'll get a choice to spot it back for another hit, yeah, and he
Yep.
chooses to do that. So now because Sahil didn't hit any balls whatsoever, the automatic is he's gonna get 4-point foul.
Yes. Same thing exactly.
Yeah. Almost exactly the same shot.
Yep.
Yeah, see, so now Jason could squeeze another foul and a miss, or he could just take the shot from here. Even if he plays the shot to the side right now, that's next to the blue, he can just play top spin. If he misses it, he's not going to leave a lot.
A lot of variables, whether he can hit that red ball.
Honestly, I would almost take that shot and just put it back again.
This other red may stop him from coming down to the black.
Yeah, if he stuns it. But then you got to make the shot.
Well, he certainly got down, but all the way back up again.
Yeah, he's okay. Difficult choice here. Play the blue to the side, top spin. Get past that red, come back down, try to get that other red to the side. Yeah, just like that. Now this one he might let go a little bit. He might go around the table. Try to get better shape for maybe the black. Oh, he hit that yellow.
Bad luck.
It worked itself out.
Could keep his run alive.
And at this point, he just kind of wants to just keep making points. So even if
Yeah.
it's a yellow, it's a pretty good thing for him.
He's up 59 points.
Yeah, that should be enough to finish this. Maybe 1 or 2 more balls.
Yeah. Sahil has put his cue down, expecting
nice
that
shot.
he won't recover. Jason has the experience to excel under pressure. Oh,
Yeah.
he tried to kick that out.
You can see he kind of composed himself after losing that 3rd frame. Now he's back in the game again. That just
Yep.
comes with
There
experience.
it is.
So we got a 2-2 game. The race is to 4. And it's anybody's game now.
Is it 2-2 or 3-2?
I believe it's 2-2.
I've lost track. We should have microphones. We can pick up those conversations.
I think they're discussing whether or not to take a quick break right now or to continue playing the frames.
Yeah. Yes. Jason's taking a break.
Place is beautiful.
Beautiful room.
Beautiful room. Good atmosphere, lots of people in here.
And streaming on Snooker Canada's platform as well as Q Sports Live.
I also had the chance to meet the owner, Carter, here, and really nice guy.
Well, he just finished the renovations a couple of months ago, and it certainly transformed the room.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. Kind of jealous, man. It makes me want to stay here and not go back home.
Well, that would certainly be dedication to the sport,
Yeah.
moving to this GTA area.
I told my wife jokingly that we're going to Toronto. She didn't like it.
I think your decision's been made for you.
Yeah. Maybe I can just get a winter house out here and just come out in the winter.
You'll notice the lights overhead. These are new lights coming out of China that do away with all the shadows. No shadows on the balls. It's very, very even lighting, easy on the eyes, and also it's about the tenth of the cost of electricity to run these type of lights. So it's a big advantage.
We'll be right back, guys. We're taking a quick break while these guys are taking a break, so we'll be back in about a minute or two.
Stay tuned for entertainment. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gord Mooney. I'm coming to you from Burlington, Ontario, where we're at what we call the Richler Cup, but now we've put the international in front of it because we have competitors from the United States. I have the pleasure this morning of having with me a gentleman who's watched the industry from birth pretty well. He was immersed in it, and the snooker industry has changed significantly. John Haddock, Mr. Billiards.
Good morning, Gord. How are you?
Welcome.
Pleasure.
You've watched the industry from pretty well birth. You've seen it evolve and change. What would be your summation of this, the change from when you were starting and being aware of the business and how it's going to go?
Well, when you say from birth, it literally started with Terry Haddock, who started the industry. It was a key part to the industry here in Canada, along with others.
Mm-hmm.
There was the Salingers and whatnot like that. That had a huge influence in the game and the development. And I literally grew up from diapers knowing some of the world champions from England, and of course someone like Cliff Thorburn I knew extremely well from a very young age, and to this day very close with him. So what we've seen is an incredible change. We've gone through highs, we've gone through lows. When we were down at the CNE in the through the late 70s, early 80s, when the championships were going on and it was being held with the support of such companies as Labatt's and
Yes.
Carlsberg and whatnot like that, it was a fabulous time. It was an absolutely unbelievable time.
Everything imaginable could be accomplished at that time.
Well, there was huge monies. I mean, there was in those days, I believe there was $40,000 or $50,000 in prize money that was being put up at the time. There was very good representation. There was plenty of billiard rooms, snooker lounges across Canada, and there was a huge interest, of course, still stemming from the traditional your English and British and Irish and everything else that were there pulling. We would naturally invest in bringing those players over to play for the Canadian. And from that, it was an absolute success. However, as times went on and the money began to dry up, and we saw a huge tapering off once the cigarette companies were banned from having any influence. The sporting industry as a whole, in all categories, took a hard hit. Snooker in particular did, because at the time we were going from a transitional period from snooker into American pool, and the American pool ended up being the dominating force here in Canada. From there, then we got hit hard with technology. Technology stepped in, And the interest as a whole in the next generation, it began to slide, and it became difficult when kids could tap into anywhere and play with anyone anywhere around the world. This to this day is becoming a very difficult problem to get our head around. Where I see it going now is that the influence of other countries that are coming up through the line, like your India, like your China, even for the Middle East, one not like that for what's available there. The growth is huge. You know, China is growing by leaps and bounds in our industry. I mean, unheard of numbers, in the hundreds of percent increases. For this year, we feel that we hear there's 40 million people watching it on the Crucible on TV in China. These are great numbers. And that being said, we believe that there's close to 200 million enjoying the game in China. I mean, these are numbers that we have no knowledge of whatsoever. So we can't even fathom here in Canada. So hopefully we'll get something.
You can't fathom walking down a block and finding 4 pool halls all busy in
All
a
busy.
given block.
Correct.
Yes.
Hong Kong was the busiest spot at one time. They would have floor upon floor upon floor of snooker tables. And, you know, like anything else, Hong Kong simply became too expensive. As China comes forward, you're literally getting, and of course, if you've ever been into China and you're driving down the streets, you'll see the tables actually out on the street.
Which blew me away because of weather conditions and wind and everything.
Well, they just want to play. You know?
They're very
So
anxious.
it's got a great opportunity in China, and the growth there is going to continue for years to come.
Something that I find, obviously, as Canada has opened its borders, there's been a tremendous influx of immigrants. And they have skills that our Canadian players, young Canadian players, don't have. And they seem to start ahead of us. And is that because they start so young? Or?
We have the luxury of doing a lot of things. We have the luxury of a lot of technology at our fingertips. We have the luxury of going to great schools and having great programs after those schools. You know, when you look at places, and typically what we would classify as emerging markets or third world countries, they have the time to practice, and start at a very young age and take the interest. I've been through places in Central America, South America, and billiard rooms are packed with young children playing because it's relatively inexpensive for them.
And they don't have the same liquor laws.
They don't have the same liquor laws, of course, and they tend to find billiard rooms a place to congregate and socialize. So these are great spots, you know, in the middle of virtually, extreme outside areas in Nicaragua. There are billiard rooms tucked into the jungle, and you drive by, and it's packed. It's absolutely packed. So they're playing for pennies.
But pennies are very important in those countries.
They are, but it is still a social. So in China, when you have the workers are working in China, they're coming out of the factories. They've got a little bit of money to spend. Disposable. They can't afford the smartphones. They can't afford to surf. They can't afford the karaoke. A lot of the money goes back home. So what they can afford is to go out and socialize in the snooker lounges or the billiard lounge. And play for hours and have a great time. So that's where this interest is going. As it changes, as they become more wealthy, I think you'll see it tapering off to some degree, but I don't think that's going to happen for years and years and years.
Well, certainly I won't be around. You will, but
yeah, I always find that it's like the Industrial Revolution in China right now. Where they were, and we had a huge spike in billiard rooms, snooker lounges across North America. In the Industrial Revolution from the 1880s all the way up to 1910s, we had this huge expansion of billiard rooms opening up left, right, and center because same thing. We had heavy workers coming into the cities. They didn't know where to go afterwards. They needed a place to socialize, and billiard rooms and snooker lounges became a perfect spot to do that. And this is very similar to what we're seeing there.
We mentioned billiards are 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball. On different size table than snooker, a much easier game, a much more social game. It started, I believe, in mostly in southern states in the bars. They put in the coin-operated ones because it didn't take up much space. But as a businessman, it's pretty expensive to allocate space to a snooker table because of the price of real estate.
Well, it is here in Toronto.
Yes. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gord Mooney. I'm coming to you from Burlington, Ontario.
All right, guys, so we're back. That was first part of an interview between John Haddock and Gord Mayuni. I'm sorry, I have a hard time pronouncing that Gord's name. My bad. I apologize, Gord, right ahead of time. So we're going to continue with our match here. And we'll be back with part 2 of the interview in the next break. So the current score is 2-2. It's a race to 4, and this is frame 5. Nice break from Jason. This is your standard snooker break. This is what you're looking for when you break, guys. You're trying to freeze the ball to either the yellow, the brown, or the green. The idea is to force your opponent to hit the reds and open up the pack for you and give you an opportunity to start attacking right away. Oh, we got a good hit out of that, but he did give some position. It's important that when you get opportunities like this, that you really assess the table and kind of figure out the best way to start working points out of this. Like we seen earlier, sometimes a player can break out the pack a little bit too soon, and then they may give over the table to their opponent and lose the match because of it. So making decisions here at the beginning when the table is open is crucial for each player. In Jason's case here, he's probably going to roll this up, make that black. I don't think he got the angle he wanted. Can't really tell from here, but and we're being joined by Carter. How you doing, Carter?
Hi everybody. Hi everyone.
Thanks for having us here, Carter. I really enjoy your place.
Thanks for coming, guys.
I heard you just renovated this place.
Yes, we just finished the renos 2 months ago. So we put in new tables. We open up a little bit extra area. So that looks nice, right?
Oh, it looks beautiful. Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
It's my first time being in your place, and honestly, I'm just mesmerized by it. I don't want to go back home. Like I've been saying that since I got here. I don't want to go back home.
For the owner, I just want to give the customer the best condition. Now we have the best table right here. Hope you guys can have a fun here every single time.
Yeah, definitely the most beautiful tables I've ever played on. And Ron Graham, I know you were asking earlier what kind of tables these were. These are North Star tables.
Yeah, this is star table in China. This is professional tables. And they use the professional tournament as well. That's the highest level in the world. So hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, these tables are absolutely the highest standard that I've seen so far. So they play beautiful, they hit nice. Everything about them is just beautiful.
Yeah, the bounce is perfect. Yeah, so.
Maybe they can make the pockets twice as big next time.
Yeah, that's a professional cutting.
Yeah,
so
for
sure. Next time when we cross the table, we might open up a little bit the pocket.
Yeah.
Make everybody happy.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, guys. Is like, you know, if you end up buying a table and you find the table is a little bit too tight, you can always get pocket molds and adjust your pockets.
And now we more respect these professional guys. So we know how hard they are. are play on these top tables.
Oh yeah. I never knew, but I know now.
Yeah. Oh, Jason is good player.
Yeah, he's playing pretty smart. His cue ball control is pretty solid, and his planning is pretty good too.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty good match so far. They're both stepping up. Each frame, each player has stepped up, so it's quite the battle so far.
Yeah, that's good game.
This is the one that makes a difference, though, because one of these guys, whoever wins this game, is going to be on the hill, and they're only going to need one more. That puts all the pressure on the other player.
Jason he got the second place in Canadian Championship.
Jason did?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can tell
lost,
he's
he was against Floyd. I thought Floyd won the champion that year.
Oh, okay.
He got the second place.
He's a good player too. Yeah.
Yes, Floyd is one of the best players in Canada.
It's really great to see that there's so many players out here that are playing this game, and I mean, in Winnipeg it's a little bit slower. Not so many players pick it up. It's more the I guess older generation that used to play snooker still plays, but as far as the younger players, they're not really picking up the game quite yet.
Yes.
But you can see that here in Ontario, it's pretty good. There's a lot of players that are playing at all different ages.
Yes. Be a snooker player. I hope more young player can join this game. Because now it's always like a more online game, right?
Yeah.
On TV. So that is good game. This is snooker is the second hardest game in the world.
Yeah, and you know what? Like if there's a young kid that picks up a snooker cue and starts playing at a young age, well, they're going to be pretty promising by the time they're an adult.
Now my son is 8 years old. I'm training him just for 3 months.
Okay.
He's pretty good. He's better than what I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He can got lots of long ball.
That comes down to the teacher, though, right?
He play every single day, practice maybe 1 hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, and that's what most players that enjoy the game and want to play competitively will do. They'll invest, minimum 2 hours a day, and they'll do it pretty much every day willingly because they just love the game so much. I know when I started playing last year, I was putting in 4 to 5 hours a day every day for a full year, and sometimes I would even go as far as 6 or 7 hours. I didn't even know how long I was going because I was just so addicted to the game that time was going by.
Yeah, when you join the game, time is pretty fast.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason looking at the combo.
Yeah, he's trying to see if it's naturally lined up.
Yeah.
But I don't know, you might even try a freeze hook here.
Yeah, two-way shot.
No. He went for the...
Yeah,
he went for the plant and got it. Very nice. And he got good position on the black too.
Yeah.
Reward for his effort.
It's a little bit straight, maybe 2 rails.
Well, it looks straight from this angle,
Yeah.
but if you change the view, you can see that he got a little bit of angle. He's got a couple of options.
That will be
here.
a little bit tough because the rebel just...
For the most part, he just wants to make this black, maybe even kind of stun it, draw it back a little bit, and either pop one of the 2 balls to the side pocket.
Yeah. The 2 rails shape, maybe 2 rails shape the red.
You could try the 2 rail, but the thing with the 2 rail is now you're forcing your stroke, so there's a good chance that you may miss it.
Yes. It's a tough pocket.
And when you're up 22 points to nothing, you kind of want to, capitalize on every point. So right now, the best thing he can do is just make this black, get his points together, and then, if he has to play a snooker, then play a snooker. But it's better than taking a hard shot on the black and then missing out on those precious points.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's just like that. Just make the shot.
Yeah,
you can reassess. You're up another 7 points. That's the important thing here is to capitalize every turn you're on the table.
Now Jason is ahead 29 points. At least he needed
So here's
five reds.
yeah, he's gonna try to pop that red on the side, the one that's closest to it, with a slow stroke so he can come down for that green.
It's a nice shot. Nice hit.
It was kind of a two-way. You know, he wanted to hit that green, but at the same time, he wanted to leave a long shot if he did end up, getting into trouble down there.
This frame is very important. Now it's 2-2. Who win this game? He is gonna on the hill. So that this frame is very important. Everybody is play safe. Very safe, very stable.
And you'll see, whoever wins this frame in the next frame, they're going to be a little bit more aggressive because they're going to be on the hill. They're going to want to finish it off.
Yeah.
While the other guy who's below is going to be playing a little bit more tighter and probably playing more snookers because he's going to want to win that frame. He knows it's do or die.
Yeah.
But we still got a lot of game in this frame, so you never know. It's anybody's game still. 30 points really isn't that much.
That's a nice shot. Two rails looking for black. Just a top spin.
I think he's going to try to just play it slow, come back up the top rail so you can get that black. I don't know. Kind of hard to hold the cue ball.
Yeah, two rails looking for black.
Yeah, you're right. And this is a pretty difficult cut too.
And now it's tough shot.
He's not guaranteed any shape whatsoever for the red, so on this point, he's just trying to make this black. That's the most important thing. After that, he'll deal with the reds. Yeah, I see he's starting to think about how he's going to travel with his cue ball now. He has other options. I mean, he could play a long snooker if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of risk with the black, right? Like if he takes that black round and goes around the table and he misses it, he's going to leave him the reds.
Yes, exactly. But that is a good opportunity to run on the table. Oh, he missed.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. It was a risky shot, right? This game is very challenging that way because not only does your skill matter, but it comes down to your decision making a lot. Once you make a decision, you basically commit to either making the shot or playing your snooker, one or the other.
Yeah, that's why Ronnie is the best one. He always
Quick thinker.
A very good position.
Yeah, his position is the best out of everybody.
The cue ball control is the best one.
Unarguably, he will be the best snooker player for many, many years to come.
Yeah, he is the genius.
Although I did see there's some few youngins out there that they're training 8, 9, 10 years old in Britain, and these kids they're pretty good themselves already. But that's the thing about out there is that they train their kids from a young age to play snooker. It's like to them, snooker is like I guess hockey for us. It's a big thing. How you doing, Steven? Not sure if you're still on there, but how you doing, buddy? He's got some nice position here. Probably gonna take in this green, play with some top spin, come back up and take that top red that's sitting there on the very top of all of them. Then probably follow through with the black after that, if all works out as planned. There he comes. Has to come up a bit more.
Top spin and a little bit left hand side.
I guess you can go for that middle ball too.
Yeah, there's 3 balls on the line. The top one and then the bottom one still goes.
Yeah, the one right in front of him is probably the most obvious choice for most people because it's a lot straighter. But I think that most players might take that top red. If you pot it and you play it gentle enough, you're not going to leave much on the other side for your opponent. And if you make it, you're going to have a nice shape for the black. So it's kind of a two-way shot. Yeah, he's going to play that shot right now. Another thing too, he's going to play this hard and come all the way back down. So it's a two-way shot as well. Yeah, so he played it hard and came back down. Two-way shot.
That's a smart shot. Even he missed this red ball.
Yeah. It was
give
really
him a chance.
And I mean, like, he switched the black for the blue, so he's only missing a couple of points. It's actually a pretty good strategy. He's got a nice shape on the blue. Can easily come off the rail and come back up. And he'll have that shot on that same red again that he just chose not to take.
Now I think he's looking for the black.
Yeah, he's gonna pop it and come through those balls. It's a little stun shot.
Yeah. The one rail.
He doesn't like it because he sees he can run into that top red right now, the one that's above, 2 balls above the shot that he's trying to take. That's only a concern if he misses. If he makes a shot, it's not that big of a deal. He
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
not
wants
a big
that.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. Nice control. I really like the way Jason plays. He's really smart. Knows what he's doing. Sees the table properly. It doesn't really take too many big risks. He just takes good shots.
Yeah. Now Jason have 44 points ahead. So one set of
Yeah, he's basically
black
got to make
is
this
going
black and maybe pop in 2 more of these reds with another black and he'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Yeah, so right now he's going to make this and try to get shape for that top red, the one that's sitting at the very top, close to him.
Only have just only one red ball is going to be good.
Oh, he went too far.
Oh, that's good.
He got it.
That's
Perfect.
good.
Just like that. It looks like you might have to maybe get a kiss off the other red and push it forward to get shape for the black.
Yes. You just shape for black.
Oh, he missed the red completely. That's
Oh.
good. Yeah, I thought he might have to run into that red to get that shape, but he was actually good on its own. And yeah, now he's in pretty much control here. He's got to
Yes,
continue to make some balls.
Yeah, one rail for red.
Oh, that was a nice stroke shot. He's got confidence now, man. This shot's gonna tell you how he's feeling. Oh, he's feeling gold. Oh, too bad. Unfair on that one.
That might be okay.
But you can see
There's
he's
only
confident.
2 reds on the table, so there are only 43 points on the table.
Yeah.
He is leading 59 points. 50.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pull some snookers here.
Yeah.
And he's trying. Looks like he got a good one there. No, a little bit harder, he would have been perfect. So now Jason basically has to control this one and just try not to give him opportunities on the reds, but he just gave him a shot on both. Ideally, what Jason wants to do is just pot one of these reds. It doesn't matter if he makes a color or not, because that takes away a lot of time and points away from Sahil. I think Sahil is just trying to make the big points like he's supposed to, and then he's going to start playing his snookers.
Yes, if he had get a good position, maybe he get a chance for the
Oh, he
for
went
the
for the
free
snooker
ball,
now.
get the extra red. He can get the maybe maximum to 8 points extra.
I think Jason's going to take a shot at making this ball now. It's also a two-way shot naturally. Oh no, I guess not. Just bank it out. Maybe. If it bounces hard, he's got it.
Not enough.
Nice shot.
Nice shot.
Very nice shot, Jason.
Nice shot.
That would be the frame, so Jason's on the hill. The score is 3-2. Sahil has to survive now for 2 frames in a row. This one coming up is going to be an important one for him.
It's a good game. Great match. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, so far, each one of these guys, whoever was won the frame, has played very strong in that frame. Nice shot, nice shot. Got good shape on the block too. Different options here. I think he might try to spin this around that black, come back for that red that's above it. Yeah, he's gonna draw off the cushion, I think. Oh, he kicked the ball instead. He was trying to draw around it though. Just got unfortunate that he hit that red. Still sitting okay though. Lots of opportunity on the table. As long as it doesn't hit anything, yeah, you should be okay. Looks like he's got an opportunity to go on like a nice little run here, as long as he just keeps control of the cue ball. And try to make this red pop up for the black. Just like that. He'll probably play this one top spin, come back down, and play that red next that's just below that black. Just like that. Nice shot. I'll spot that black. Probably play this shot, same thing. Just follow it through nice and easy off the top rail. Come back down for that black. Oh no, he's opting for the other ball. I'm not sure what he's doing here. Maybe he might draw it down for that blue on the side. No, too hard. Just send this back to the middle. Take that ball in the middle of the table there. Oh yeah, there you go. Here he'll probably just roll it up a little bit. Give himself a little bit of an angle on that blue so he can come back up. Now he's got an opportunity here. He can actually roll up and maybe even give himself an angle to break into the pack. But I think he'll probably just end up pegging him slowly and eventually break the pack when he gets a better chance. He didn't get the angle that he was looking for. He's forced to go down towards the bottom there. So here comes a nice stroke shot. And he executed it beautifully. Where's the reward? It's gotta be a reward. No. Well, maybe. Once again, you can see that, you know, Sahil is down now. He's starting to play strong. So each player that's won a frame has played strong so far, right from the beginning. If things keep going the way they've gone so far in this match, Sahil should be the one to win this frame, and then we'll have a hill-hill match. Almost wants to play this naturally, just a little bit of top spin. Yeah, there you go. Nice and easy. Check off the rail. Even if you don't get the angle, that's okay. Here too, he has a choice. He can just roll it up, or he can go hard into the side rail, come back for shape on the black. He could also draw down to the side, so you can pot the blue. Yeah, and his angle is not the greatest, but, you know, he's still in control. Just done this back a little bit, a little touch draw. Set up for that loose red, just like that. This still takes the pressure off of him. Now he's just got to make this red and just touch up a little bit. Even if he misses, he's not going to leave a lot. Yeah, he's playing really good. Both these guys have been playing really good. So far, this is a really good match to watch. I hope you guys are enjoying it.
He's going to make it black, one rail, break the red.
Oh, he went for the breakout. He was doing pretty good up until that moment. But that's what I was telling you, like the players have a hard time choosing when to break the pack. Some of them break it right on the perfect timing and some of us don't. I know for me, I tend to break it at the wrong time.
That's why the snooker game is very difficult. You have to focus on black shot, and you still have at the same time you have to focus on break the red pack.
Breaking the balls, and you got to worry about that if you miss, what you're going to leave for your opponent. So there's always a lot of other things going on with this. It's not as simple as just coming up and potting the ball. So there's plenty of room here for Jason to come back and win this frame still and win the match. Just a matter of him figuring out the table. Tough choices considering that the black is all the way down there and that the pink is, not necessarily quite open. He's got a choice of potting that ball to the side and coming around the table, maybe get the pink or the blue. Or he can take that top red, but if he takes that top red, it's kind of like a dead end unless he takes that pink to the side after.
The top right is very tough shot. I think it's the bottom one. He choose the middle one.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to go for the middle one. Maybe draw it back or follow it through, I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like he's trying to follow it through. Kick that red open and then get shaped for the pink at the same time. The problem with taking that red to the side is that it's a risk. If he takes a shot and misses it, he's going to leave his opponent wide open reds. So I think that's the reason why he's opting for this corner shot. I didn't get out enough. I think he can hit that green. I know he can skim the side of it. I don't know if he can hit the green full though.
Jason is trying to put the cube on the left side, just taking his chance.
He almost kind of wants to go for it and come around the table. Or he might just try to roll up and play a snooker here. Yeah, snooker was probably the better option. He knows he doesn't want to give the table back to Jason with an opportunity because it's anybody's game still right now. Yeah, he'll just play safe, leave him nothing, and if he makes something, well, he earned it.
That was a good safety shot.
Yeah, very, very tactical. Everything's blocked. So now Jason's going to remove that bottom red and he's going to bring it back up and leave that white ball down there. Oh, he wasn't supposed to hit that ball though. Yeah, hitting that ball was not part of the plan. Yeah, so Sahil's back in control again. He's got lots of opportunities here, depending on what he does next. The obvious shot would be the yellow. And I think you probably want to play this maybe top spin naturally, come back up. Some people might draw it, but I think I would probably try to play it as natural as possible. Yeah, just like that. Get away from that ball. There you go.
His shot is very straight. Jason is gonna shoot a little bit pocket.
Yeah, just pocket weight, come back down. He's good. Perhaps a little bit too far, but he's got the green to get out.
Let's go back. Looking for pink.
Yeah, even if Jason was to go red pink all the way through, he would still win this frame. It's not bad. I think you wanted to see a little bit better, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's a good angle. And one real still can looking for.
The thing about this shot though is he can play top and come down, maybe even get shaped for that black if he wanted to. But I would try to stick to the pink.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, just stick to the pink, nice and
good
easy.
positioning for the pink. Jason is looking for the angle to maybe he was playing to break the red out of the rail.
Yeah, he kind of wants to draw it just a little bit, give himself a little bit of angle so he can pot this red, go off the rail, kick that other red open loose, and then get shape on the pink again. Yeah, just a little stun shot. Kind of wants to go about halfway between there and the red. Yeah, right. Well, a little bit more, but that's not bad. Even now, like maybe not break out the red, just make the red and then make the pink and then try to break it.
Yeah. Top spin one rail. Still a stun shot, a little top stun, two rails, kick the red out of the rail.
He needs the points, so
Yeah, he has to.
he knows he needs the points. He kind of has to go for the pink here. You'll have to face the pink, and then you'll have to face the red with a difficult shot unless he gets decent position on it. He is a right-handed player, so if he just gets to that rail closer to the red, he should be okay. Yeah, trying too much. But he got good, decent leave anyway. Now, Sahil kind of wants to control this again a little bit by trying to snooker him and put him in the back corner, so to speak.
Jason is
It looks like it's good. Oh, a little too hard. It was almost perfect.
Jason's ruling 31 points. So maximum 35 points on the table. Jason still has a chance to come back.
This is a pretty tough shot because you have to try to control where the red is going, and you have to absolutely control where the white ball's going.
The white ball is most important.
Yeah. Naturally, off this, like the white ball should go back down to where it is. but it's about how you hit this red. The thinner you hit it, the more speed you're gonna get out the cue ball. Yeah, that was almost a half ball. Might be okay. Yeah, he didn't leave him anything really promising. But on a same note, Sahil can probably come up with a snooker out of this. Yeah, I think he hit this one. Ah, so close. Pretty close. Nice effort, Sahil. Nice
Three
effort.
wheels, trying to use the brown ball to make a snooker.
Yeah, well, that would be the best spot if you can get there. So he's going for it. No, he's okay still. It's kind of like a free stat for Sahil here if he wants to take a shot.
Pretty safe.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That'll work. Missed it. There's one.
Not enough spin.
Yeah, see, so some people might have put it back to respot it, but in Sahil's case, he kind of needs this right now. If he just makes his ball, makes a pink, he's pretty much securing the frame.
We just need a one red ball. That'll win this frame.
Yeah, he'll play it down. Why not? Doesn't matter no more. Yeah.
3-3 now.
So we got a full match now, ladies and gentlemen. We're tied at 3-3. Next match or next frame is the winner of this match. Statistically, so far, every player who won the frame has played the strongest. And just like the last one, so Sahil started off the strongest. He ended up winning the frame. So this is kind of going to be key here to see who starts off better, I guess, in this final frame. It's a good feeling, regardless. Both these guys are feeling pretty good right now because they're on the hill. So regardless of, they can both feel good with their outcome. So guys, it looks like the players are going to take another quick break before they go to their final frame. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
The landscape of snooker in Canada is about to shift to a higher level. We have just one question. Are you ready? The Canadian Snooker Tour has seen a lot of changes in the last 7 years. An increase in player participation, tournaments, and yes, more prize money. 3 words, not satisfied yet. Stay tuned for major announcements to come on the Snooker Canada website.
At Monte Carlo Inns, we're the first to admit there's no place like home. So let us welcome you to the next best place, where guests feel like regulars, even on their first day. Monte Carlo Inns is your home away from home.
Master Q Snooker Billiards and Lounge is a newly renovated entertainment complex located in Markham, Ontario. Master Q is a fully licensed establishment with an incredible selection of beverages, a fabulous kitchen menu, and great food to satisfy your appetite. If you enjoy snooker, 8-ball, or even a friendly game of darts, this is your place to be. And with their comfortable lounge area complete with a large screen projection system, Master Q is a great place to meet with friends to watch the big game. Master Q Snooker Billiards and Lounge, 20 Apple Creek Boulevard, Markham, Ontario.
Okay, guys, welcome to come back.
Yes, we're back, and we're on the final frame of this match. The score is now 3-3. Winner of this frame wins the match and moves on. Loser gets to go home early.
Jason Williams break.
He didn't want to hit that. Didn't have a good start. Plus, he took 5 points. There's also a good chance that we're going to see a little bit of a battle here because both these guys know it's do or die, so they may not play us loose. The tendency is that when two players get that close and it's winner wins, they tend to tighten up a little bit more.
Oh, nice try.
Gonna have a difficult time trying to get position here off this red.
Let's go back around wheel.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna try to draw it a little bit. Trying to shape up for the black.
Side, go back.
Just like that, yeah. Yeah, that's ideal position. Now you can start working this pack a little bit.
He's gonna get one wheel.
Yeah, he's gonna have to come hit that black off the top cushion and go right back down towards that second red that's right by there.
Let's hit a little bit this one.
Yeah.
Then you can he will have two joints to make both of red. both sides goes red.
Yeah. See, he could just stun this too, but you know, stunning it doesn't really reward you much. You kind of wanna go off the cushion and come back down for that red. Continue your run. He could easily peg off at
Your
16,
best
24
choice
points.
is one of the rail. It try to make a left one red, because the red is block the pocket
Yeah.
for black.
Off the cushion, back down.
Oh.
He hesitated. But, you know, he didn't leave a
Much
lot.
pressure.
Yeah. Well, it is a lot of pressure being hill. Especially in snooker, because a lot of the snooker events, actually most of the snooker events that I played in so far, every one of them has been single knockout, single elimination. So players know it's you got to play your best if you're going to win anything in snooker.
Yeah, maybe you missed the one shot, you gotta go home.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't hit that brown, he should be good. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
nice
a little bit
shot.
hard.
Right against the rail too, makes it a little bit more difficult. Jason's gonna try to put him right back down to that same spot, but closer to that brown. Just like that. Against the rail will be perfect. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, he still has shots, but he doesn't have anything given.
It will be a little bit tough to make a safety shot.
Yeah, because I mean, he can. If he hits his red, there's a chance he can hit that black too, right? Oh, he's gonna go for the other red. Even then, though, he still might hit something there. It's a very risky shot, regardless.
Oh, he changed my mind.
I think he's just gonna hit that red next to the black and just leave that white close to the black, something like that. Yeah.
That's the easiest way.
Yeah. See, so now Jason has a couple options too. He can try to run the 6 down, which most people won't do. He might even try to go off that red and hook him behind the black, or he might just go straight down and try to keep the white ball down with those in the D area where the 3 colors are.
2 wheels.
Yeah, go.
Let's try to use the
1, 2,
yellow
and
though.
into the
or
yellow.
there's
Yeah.
2 spin on it. Oh, okay.
It's good. I think it's good.
Still safe.
It's not bad. This will just be a snooker return. Not much opportunity on this table yet.
Three wheels. Try to use green ball.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And the reds are slowly starting to open up now, so that's going to change the game a little bit. So what do you think he's going to do here, Carter? Which ball would you think he's going to try to
My
hit?
opinion is hit the right
On the
the
far right?
side. Yeah.
Okay.
Close the rail. Top spin a little bit left hand side. Hit the worm two rails. Come back to
Go back down towards the D?
yeah.
Okay.
Go back the same spot. Use
Yeah, I
the
like
ring,
that.
Yeah. Because you have to cut very thin and
Yeah.
then spin more spin on it.
You can also cross bank that red to the top and then make that white ball come up towards the black. That's another option.
Yeah, that's another option. He's trying to make school back.
I think he's going to go the way that you're saying, yeah. It's a lot simpler. Oh no, he just
Oh,
made
that's
it.
a nice shot, yeah.
Never mind, Jason, you're teaching us. That was a very nice shot.
It's nice stroke. Very soft.
That could be the game changer, really.
Yes.
Sometimes all it takes is one nice shot like that and you can start taking control of a game. No, I'm not telling you guys to go out there and start hitting crazy shots. I'm just saying that sometimes it rewards you.
trying to hit the bottom 2 rails.
Yeah. Ace has got to make it. You'll get position here.
Oh, no rail.
Yeah, he's good. Could have had better options, but he's not bad. I think he's gonna try to take this one to the side and then set up for that blue. Doesn't really have many other options. He's got a difficult cut on the red next to the
Yes,
pink.
it is.
Not many players are approach that though. The thing about this side shot is if he misses it, he's gonna kind of leave him territory to work with. All he has to do is just roll this in with a little bit of top spin. He'll come perfectly for that blue with a little bit of an angle.
Yeah, and then with top spin with the right hand side.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, now he's in control. Now he can figure out where he wants to be. Yeah, this is probably the best time to take a walk around the table and figure out where you want to go. You're not going to get many chances like that.
I'll spill a little bit straight for the blue.
If you don't do this in your game, start doing this. It's important to walk around the table and kind of assess what you're going to do next. Doesn't necessarily mean that whatever you plan is going to work out the way you want it to, but if you have a plan, you're better off than if you don't.
Top spin. I think it'd be good.
So, we got $5,000 house. I put 2 to lend to the house. 39 feet on this floor, above it. You got upstairs. Actually, I did it for one team.
Is that enough angle to hit the bottom red?
Yeah, I think if he plays a top spin, he'll make that red that's sitting in the middle, close to the 3 or close to the 2 that are next to the pink, the one that he's aiming for. He'll play top spin and run into that red that's at the very top by that black, and then he can shoot that black.
Yeah, and then leave the black spot.
Yeah, the problem here though is that if he makes this shot and he doesn't hit that first red that he wants to hit and he hits the red that's before it, he might get in trouble. I think that's what he's looking at right now. See, that's what I was worried about, that if he hit that ball, he would be in trouble. And I think he knew that too. That's the reason he was hesitant about taking it.
If he wants to hit that ball, maybe the cube, he have to hit a little bit lower.
Yeah.
And have to hit the whole red ball, and leave more space for the black.
Yeah, I think he had to use maybe a little bit of side spins in there, a little bit of English with the tops, and that would have given him the angle that he was looking for to hit the proper ball, but he hit it natural and then he got into the wrong ball. Still not bad. He's okay. It's anybody's game still, 14-5, lots of balls on the table. And like I said, it's going to drag out a little bit because both these guys know it's do or die now. Not a lot of options here.
Yeah, he might hit the second red ball.
Looks like he's hitting the one that's right in front of him in the middle. Yeah, that
the
one.
first one, 2 rails, come back.
That's actually a pretty smart one. A little bit harder, he would have been lucky, right? It can't really be lucky when it's skillful, right? If you meant it, it's not really luck. See, the thing about a match like this is that if you would normally take the shot that Jason's looking at, in a match like this when you're hill, it makes you hesitate to take that shot that you normally would take. And that could be your worst enemy in a hill match. Attaboy, Jason.
Very nice shot.
Very nice, yeah.
And top spin still take a little bit.
He kind of wants to take that green or that yellow, open them up now. Doesn't really have to. I mean, he can really just play that green and freeze hook him, right? What do you think? Would you go for the green or would you just play the safety, the snooker behind the yellow?
I think I would take yellow if green don't have any space to go for red. I would take yellow.
Yeah. He's got definitely a lot of options here. It's up to him. I think he's contemplating that snooker though. It looks like it. No, he's trying to shape up. I can see that. Yeah, he's trying to shape up.
Take yellow, one rails, then shot.
Oh, he's thinking between both of them. He's thinking the snooker and he's thinking the shot.
Because if he played too hard, the white ball is gonna hit the yellow ball.
Yeah. This is a difficult shot. If he plays the snooker, it's a touch shot, so it's pretty difficult. It's almost worth it just to go for that one ball and come around, like you were saying. Or that one ball, the yellow ball, I should say. I still talk like a 9-ball player, even though I play snooker. I gotta apologize for that. Yeah, it looks like he's going for the yellow. I'm just glad I'm not in his shoes right now. It's a pretty difficult decision. Oh, he could have got a little bit better, but he's not bad.
First red on the left still goes. A little bit hard.
He's okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad. He's got lots of options here. Trying to figure out where Jason's mind's going here.
Is looking for the red, which he was aiming, and then 3 rails.
Three rails, snooker.
Yeah, snooker. Try to put the table close the side pocket. Oh no, corner pocket. Sorry.
2. That's still a pretty good shot.
That's right. Stenshaw? Oh,
Didn't
not
wanna
enough
do that.
stun.
Didn't really want to do that, but he's not too bad. Jason still has to make a nice shot here to continue getting some points. A little bit of body movement there.
Still not bad.
Yeah, no, he got pretty fortunate there. Could have been a lot of things gone wrong, but it worked out pretty good. Looks like he's just gonna bank this red. Play top spin, put the cue ball down there.
I think it's just make this red behind the blue, the straight down, the red is straight down.
Yeah,
And
that's
the
what I
cue
thought he
ball
was
just,
gonna do.
Yeah, just try run real to behind, maybe brown or yellow.
Just follow it through, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that.
just like that. That was pretty nice.
Oh, that was beautiful. All he left him was a hard shot.
Make a little bit trouble.
Yeah, you can see one of the reds, the very top red. But there's no promise there. And he's got a red on the
problem
side.
is how to make the cue ball back. That's a big problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got that red on the right. It's going to get in the way, so that's why I think he's going to the left side now. Might be okay. Ooh, I can't tell from here. I think he might have that top red.
Have a little bit chance for Jason and they make the border red, but that would be tough shot.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't have that red if he's hesitant about it. Or maybe he's trying to figure out how to get to that black from there. Nice shot.
Nice shot. I think it's enough.
Yeah, I can't tell. It looks like he has enough, but if he shakes his head, he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't have it.
They still have a chance to make a green.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
he's got it.
Oh, he got it, yeah.
Kind of almost want to do the same thing on this one, right? Just top spin, follow through with inside English.
Yeah.
Find it interesting that he decided to stick to the wall. But he is a
I think
right-handed player.
he was playing to make a bottom hit and try to make a red, the second red on your on your right.
Yeah, each of these shots are challenging because if he misses it, he's going to give him opportunities. But he's trying to make this ball and come around so he can have the black or go all the way around and have the pink and the blue.
Yeah, it's tough. You have to go through the bottom of the red. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Well, could have been better. But that's the way snooker goes. Just reassess your opportunity and try to make the most out of it. He could just skim off this black. He doesn't have to really make it, right? Just skim it, go down and play a snooker. It's not too bad.
Side pocket. Not too bad. Still safe.
So he was just looking for an opportunity. That's the main thing he's looking for right now. He's kind of just surviving through till he gets his opportunity.
Jason is looking for the red in the middle, try to make it to the side pocket, and two rails come back. If he didn't make it, still.
It looks like he's trying to draw it back, actually.
Oh, it's bottom.
Yeah, it was straight on.
Oh,
that's like the
that's
fourth.
close, yeah.
That's like the fourth or fifth shot I've seen him do like that.
Yeah.
Just very good potter for long potting.
Oh, that's
look at that. Hey, you gotta get your break sometime, man. That's right.
That's the part of the game.
Yeah, part of the game, man. They'll come back eventually. We always work it out somehow with karma. See, now, because that red's down there, that poses a problem for Jason. He can't just simply play an up and down shot now because that ball's down there. So he's got to be really smart about his choice here.
Yes. He is leading 34 points. It's necessary to make a risky shot.
I think what he's going to try to do is try to pop that red that's by the pink spots, and he's going to try to draw it off the rail so he comes to the cushion to the top rail and leaves him nothing. I think that's what he's trying to do. Oh no, he's putting some topspin now. There you go, Sahil. Here's your opportunity, buddy.
So Hill is still a good player. He won first round.
Yeah, they both played pretty good. I really like this match. Oh, I might have cursed him there, jinxed him, but he's playing pretty good. Right now in this frame, what the big difference is that Jason has had the more opportunities, and he's been the more I guess tactical player so far.
Oh, it's a very nice shot.
Yeah, that was really nice. And he pushed that red down close to that pocket, so helps him out. Going for points with that blue to the side. If he does take this, basically he can just hit this with center. It'll come off the bottom rail back up. Just like that, yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah, the left red still goes. Also can choose the right side.
Yeah, he's probably gonna take that red in front of him right now. Draw back.
A little bit uncomfortable.
He doesn't.
He's the right hand player.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. He might just try to stun this so he goes for the green after. To reduce the risk on the shot. Yeah, it looks like he's just playing a center ball, making the pocket, come back to the middle for the green.
Yeah, even just make it. Have lots of choice.
He's got the blue now too.
Blue, pink, yellow, green. A lot of choice. Blue is the best choice. Just top speed.
Yeah,
one
just
rail.
roll it up, right?
Yep.
And he's a right-handed player, so it plays on his benefit side. Yeah. See, for him, this shot's easy. For me, I'd have to use it at a 12-foot extension.
Your left hand side.
Yeah, I'm a left-handed player. I'm actually trying to learn how to be ambidextrous because I find that if you can play with both hands.
Not everybody like Ronnie.
Yeah, not
both hands.
I don't look like him at all, but I really want to be as good as him, so I'm trying. But yeah, it doesn't look very good when you're missing. It looks like you're a fool most of the times. And most of the times people are saying, hey, how come we didn't use the reach? It was so much easier. But it's growing pains, man. That's how you
I
learn.
still remember Ronnie against Dean. He made a maximum 147. And the last red ball is use left hand side, left hand.
Yeah.
And let's go back all the way down to the black.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's really, really good with both hands. But I think he started left-handed and then he became right-handed, right? That's the way it was?
Yeah, he was practice his left hand side when he was 25 years old. I think.
Yeah, because I think like his first games that they have televised, he was playing left-handed in all those ones, right? Then eventually he switched over. I think he even has a 147 in left hand too.
Yeah.
Not many guys can do what Ronnie does, though, but we all look up to him. We all want to try to be like him.
Jason is leading 47 points.
Yeah, see, so
Just
now he's kind of
only-
trying to go after the points, right?
Yeah, just only one color ball.
Yeah, make this black, roll up for red, and he's pretty much got this frame.
Oh, nice shot.
Beautiful pot. Maybe a little bit too hard, but that's
But still okay.
all they needed was the points. Sahil's still in this match, though. If he gets a chance at the table, he's looking at one snooker, I believe.
Yeah, Jason is big boy. We still have a couple big boys here. Firms here. He is playing second round.
Yeah, I always
And-
wanted to watch Fern play. I hear he's a really, really good player.
Yes. And Chicky In is here. He got the second place
Yeah.
in Richard Club a couple years ago. And the firm is the champion of the last year, right? The Richard Club.
The last Richard Club?
Yeah.
So the goal for Jason now is just to make two reds. Doesn't matter if he makes a color after, or he can make a red and a black, and then he puts Sahil on the back wall.
Four points. So he'll need one snooker, and all rest go for the black.
Yeah, so if Jason just makes this ball, he has a pretty good chance of closing this out. No, he didn't. He just went for the save. And that's a pretty smart play, because a lot of people might have gone aggressively and tried to go for the pot, and they might even, costed him the frame, but he decided to go and play safer and just wait for his opportunity to come.
Yes, it's exactly. It's very good experience.
Yeah, he's very disciplined the way he plays. I really enjoy the way he plays.
Just trying to make more troubles for the Sahil.
Yeah, I think Jason's going to take a stab at potting this ball now. It's funny how that works too in snooker, You can be playing really good, and then you get to that ball that really matters, and then all of a sudden it's like you're having the hardest time ever to make that one ball that you need to win. I think that's just the pressures of a player, though, right?
Let's see how it's going on this street wrap up. Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's trying to bring it back, though, to play it
this is very
safe.
safe. Trying to put the cue ball back.
Freeze hook. Nice. Very nice.
Nice hit.
It's not too hard to hit it, but there's always a possibility that it might miss.
No, this if you play on fast table, it's very hard to control.
Yeah, and then when it hits the cushion too, like you don't really know how it's gonna come off it, right? A lot of this is the feeling. You got a good hit. Might even made it.
Oh,
Ooh,
still okay.
pretty close. Okay, well, here's a chance to close it out now. Well, maybe not. Came all the way down. Or all the way up, I should say. Beautiful shot. Should have nice control. How you doing, Kirby? Thanks for tuning in, buddy. How you doing, Gord Kerr? Looking in from Winnipeg. Nice. Thorsten Mueller watching from Germany. Welcome, Thorsten. Hope you're enjoying the match. Oh,
Okay.
looks like Jason won this match, and we'll be coming back with another match soon. I myself might get off and start warming up because I think my match is coming up soon.
Okay, see you guys next round.
Thanks for joining me on this one, Eric Carter. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gordon Winnie. I'm coming to you from Burlington, Ontario, where we're at what we call the Richler Cup, but now we've put the international in front of it because we have competitors from the United States. I have the pleasure this morning of having with me a gentleman who's watched the industry from birth pretty well. He was immersed in it, and the snooker industry has changed significantly. John Haddock, Mr. Billiards.
Good morning, Gord. How are you?
Welcome.
Pleasure.
You've watched the industry from pretty well birth. You've seen it evolve and change. What would be your summation of this, the change from when you were starting and being aware of the business and how it's going to go?
Well, when you say from birth, it literally started with Terry Haddock, who started the industry. It was a key part to the industry here in Canada, along with others. There was the Salingers and whatnot like that. That had a huge influence in the game and the development. And I literally grew up from diapers knowing some of the world champions from England, and of course someone like Cliff Thorburn I knew extremely well from a very young age, and to this day very close with him. So what we've seen is an incredible change. We've gone through highs, we've gone through lows. When we were down at the CNE in the through the late 70s, early 80s, when the championships were going on and it was being held with the support of such companies as Labatt's and
Yes.
Carlsberg and whatnot like that, it was a fabulous time. It was an absolutely unbelievable time.
Everything imaginable could be accomplished at that time.
Well, there was huge monies. I mean, there was in those days, I believe there was $40,000 or $50,000 in prize money that was being put up at the time. There was very good representation. There was plenty of billiard rooms, snooker lounges across Canada, and there was a huge interest, of course, still stemming from the traditional your English and British and Irish and everything else that were there pulling. we would naturally invest in bringing those players over to play for the Canadian. And from that, it was an absolute success. However, as times went on and the money began to dry up, and we saw a huge tapering off once the cigarette companies were banned from having any influence. The sporting industry as a whole, in all categories, took a hard hit. Snooker in particular did, because at the time we were going from a transitional period from snooker into American pool, and the American pool ended up being the dominating force here in Canada. From there, then we got hit hard with technology. Technology stepped in, and the interest as a whole in the next generation, it began to slide, and it became difficult when kids could tap into
anywhere
and play with anyone anywhere around the world. This to this day is becoming a very difficult problem to get our head around. Where I see it going now is that the influence of other countries that are coming up through the line, like your India, like your China, even for the Middle East, one not like that for what's available there, the growth is huge. You know, China is growing by leaps and bounds in our industry. I mean, unheard of numbers, in the hundreds of percent increases. For this year, we feel that we hear there's 40 million people watching it on the Crucible on TV in China. These are great numbers. And that being said, we believe that there's close to 200 million enjoying the game in China. I mean, these are numbers that we have no knowledge of whatsoever. So we can't even fathom here in Canada. So hopefully we'll get something.
You can't fathom walking down a block and finding 4 pool halls all busy in a given block.
Correct.
Yes.
Hong Kong was the busiest spot at one time. They would have floor upon floor upon floor of snooker tables. And, you know, like anything else, Hong Kong simply became too expensive. As China comes forward, you're literally getting, and of course, if you've ever been into China and you're driving down the streets, you'll see the tables actually out on the street.
Which blew me away because of weather conditions and wind and everything.
Well, they just want to play. You know?
They're very anxious.
So it's got a great opportunity in China, and the growth there is going to continue for years to come.
Something that I find, obviously, as Canada has opened its borders, there's been a tremendous influx of immigrants. And they have skills that our Canadian players, young Canadian players, don't have. And they seem to start ahead of us. And is that because they start so young? Or?
We have the luxury of doing a lot of things. We have the luxury of a lot of technology at our fingertips. We have the luxury of going to great schools and having great programs after those schools. You know, when you look at places, and typically what we would classify as emerging markets or third world countries, they have the time to practice, and start at a very young age and take the interest. I've been through places in Central America, South America, and billiard rooms are packed with young children playing because it's relatively inexpensive for them.
And they don't have the same liquor laws.
They don't have the same liquor laws, of course, and they tend to find billiard rooms a place to congregate and socialize. So these are great spots. You know, in the middle of virtually, extreme outside areas in Nicaragua, there are billiard rooms tucked into the jungle, and you drive by and it's packed. It's absolutely packed. So they're playing for pennies.
But pennies are very important in those countries.
They are, but it is still a social. So in China, when you have the workers are working in China, they're coming out of the factories. They've got a little bit of money to spend. Disposable. They can't afford the smartphones. They can't afford to surf. They can't afford the karaoke. A lot of the money goes back home. So what they can afford is to go out and socialize in the snooker lounges or the billiard lounge, and play for hours and have a great time. So that's where this interest is going. as it changes, as they become more wealthy, I think you'll see it tapering off to some degree, but I don't think that's going to happen for years and years and years.
Well, certainly I won't be around. You will, but
Yeah, I always find that it's like the Industrial Revolution in China right now, where they were, and we had a huge spike in billiard rooms, snooker lounges across North America in the Industrial Revolution from the 1880s all the way up to 1910s. We had this huge expansion of billiard rooms opening up left, right, and center because same thing. We had heavy workers coming into the cities. They didn't know where to go afterwards. They needed a place to socialize, and billiard rooms and snooker lounges became a perfect spot to do that. And this is very similar to what we're seeing there.
we mentioned billiards or 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball on different size table than snooker. A much easier game, a much more social game. It started, I believe, in mostly in southern states in the bars. They put in the coin-operated ones because they didn't take up much space. But as a businessman, it's pretty expensive to allocate space to a snooker table because of the price of real estate.
Well, it is here in Toronto,
Yes.
in the GTA area. When you look at it and you do the math of what you really have to achieve to get a successful billiard room, it's very difficult in Toronto. When you're paying anywhere from $14 to $28 a square foot plus TMI, you simply cannot do it unless you tie it in with other opportunities that will
You
pay
can't
for
put
it.
the price of per hour of snooker up where it has to be because people can't or won't pay that.
Well, that's where it comes down to. You have to find a point of what people are willing to pay to play. At which point, it becomes difficult because right now in Toronto, prices are so expensive per square foot. It really doesn't justify the expansion of billiard rooms.
No, your money can give you a better return elsewhere.
Absolutely.
Now you're multifaceted, known as Mr. Billiards, providing the equipment right from table to all the accessories that are available through your store.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you do a lot of buying to the trade show in China every year. It has phenomenal products coming out every year. How do you reach the snooker player to make them aware of what all you have?
Well, I've found with Snooker Canada has done a fantastic job. You're all doing a great job here in pushing the game. I was somewhat in disbelief that you'd be successful, and you've done a wonderful job. So,
Thank you.
developing the game and reinvigorating the game has been absolutely a stunning piece of work for you guys. The idea that we were going to look at investing in promoting the game when Patrick Gigi, for instance, came into my store and he expressed what he was trying to do and where he was trying to go with this, you had no choice but to support him.
There was nothing else.
There was nothing else, and anyone who is going to invest that type of time and that energy to start getting it going. And here today, we've got a great program running. I think you've done a fantastic job. So we have no choice. We had to support this in order to find out. And realistically, any major retailer in this industry or manufacturer in this industry, whether you're making pool tables or snooker tables or shuffleboards or whatnot, should be contributing to the game in order to promote this game because it's such a history here in Canada.
The chicken and the egg. I mean, if they don't, then it stifle your growth.
Stifles him. It benefits us all if we all come together, regardless of competition and attitudes. We should be all supporting the program in order to drive it forward, as we should be promoting the pool leagues in some way, or a pool tournament. We just haven't done enough, and I don't know why.
They do in the States with the pool industry.
They are still doing well. They're still doing well, and they still have the opportunity to have outside sources. I think right now, if you're going to make the next step, I think the venues will be important for Snooker Canada as far as where you are holding the Richelieu Cup, and I think the idea of outside funding to some degree, will be needed in order to take it to the next level. And quite honestly, it should really be, you should be, maybe focusing on whether it's the liquor providers or not, or whatnot like that, where they have the disposable income. I think that's key. I think that's important. I think you need to have some really strong commission salesmen out there pushing for you. We've been going through a huge change in adapting all the time. Our business, we're no longer necessarily a retailer as we are the wholesaler out there, in providing billiards and game equipment, especially in the furniture category. Mr. Billiards is celebrating their 50th anniversary this year, which is it's a milestone for any company out there. I think for any company, hands down.
Your business straddles a great expanse of everything to do with Q Sports, and obviously you spend a great deal of time at wholesaling, which the public doesn't see. You're located in
Richmond Hill right now. Yeah.
Right now.
Well, we're looking at expanding again. We are looking at expanding our office. We've fundamentally changed somewhat, as most of our product is now carried in third-party warehousing across Canada, whether it be in Delta, BC, Calgary, Toronto, being Brampton actually, and also in Montreal. Our business changed because our billiard table sales were traditionally somewhat declining with our dealers. Our dealers were having a very difficult time. And of course, after the Great Recession that came through, we lost a vast majority of dealers in the U.S. This was a very difficult time. So we had to change the way we did business and do radical change. And we focused more aggressively, especially with the Behringer billiard table line and the Behringer furniture. We expanded more aggressively with the major retailers across North America, and especially in their e-tailing that was becoming so popular. In the last 5 years, we've literally stepped up, and we now cater to virtually all of the major retailers out there, including
directly in a relationship with them.
We currently sell billiard tables and indoor games to Costco, Canadian Tire, Sears, Wayfarers, Walmarts, Lowe's Canada.
Yeah,
it is.
I was trying to find out, doing research on your business when I came aboard a couple of years ago, and I was blown away by it. All I saw was Mr. Billiard and a bit of the surface of what you're involved in. Yeah. And I think it's sad because the average player, or the person wanting to get into the game, you have a tremendous starting point. You're online.
We are online, yes.
And you say that Snooker Canada you were skeptical, and I don't blame you, because a few years ago other people have tried organizations and leagues and it hasn't gone anywhere.
I don't wish to be critical about it, but it always seems somewhat last minute. When they call in looking for sponsorship 2 weeks before.
Oh yes. This
becomes very difficult. Patrick Gigi with Snooker Canada was the first one to step forward and start setting a precedent as far as organizing, well in advance. After the first Richler Cup, he was immediately within the first couple of weeks, he was back in contact saying, listen, this is where we wish to be, this is what we want to do. Can we count on your support? To me, that shows dedication, and it shows that they understand the idea that you have to be proactive in making sure everything falls in place long before it comes along, 2 weeks before. So, when we looked at it and we said, who are we going to, we could have invested in someone else, but we chose to invest in Snooker Canada. Based on the idea that we just had someone with great passion going forward with it, and the team that he's put together and the board that he's put together, it seems that it's really having a great opportunity to have the next step in evolution for where it can go, which would be fantastic. I mean, that's what you